Test, 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 one, test, test, one, test, one, test, 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 test. Jeez, my mic is really loud, guys. I turned it down. I didn't realize how was my mic, guys. Was my mic this loud last night? All right, I think we'll go. Let's go ahead and get the YouTube. I mean the TikToks in here. All right, YouTube. Let's go get them, YouTube. Let's go get them. So keep it on. Figured out how to share the live. Hey, W's in the chat for me. Not me figuring out how to do stuff. Not me figuring out how to do stuff. How many people can I send it to? Holy smokes. I must be able to send it to a lot. Holy smokes, that's wild. I'm gonna send it out. There we go. How's everyone doing? That's awesome. That's awesome sauce. That's awesome sauce. You said first? Yeah. All right, guys. I think we are ready. I think we're ready to go. We are ready to go. I think everything is set and everything is ready to go. And since everything is ready to go, I know, D. I know I had some technical difficulties. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm here, though. I'm here now. And with that being said, let's go ahead and kick off the live as we always do.
Yeah, this ain't your regular panel. Nah, we speak the truth. Late nights with Santana and Mama Jones watching. Better keep it clean. Let's go. Late nights, truth in the convo. Everybody get a seat at the table. From the block to the books, we mindful. No screaming, just dreams in the Bible. One mic, one voice, we build bridges from the heart of the hood to the world's big issues. Politics, pay, different cultures, but the real ones listen before they rebuttal. Late nights with Santana. Yeah, Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this is a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot, but we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Yeah, late nights with Santana. You already know. Late nights with Santana. Late nights, no static. No highlight reel, just the soul's reflection. No shade throwing, just connection. From streetwise truths to deep reflections, we turn hard talks into blessings. They say they run a game, we build new rules. We here to heal, uplift, and break the old rules. They kept us boxed in, divided by fear, but you find us lined up when the truth appears. Yeah, weekly topics, hearts wide open. No judgment, just motion. Real ones are talking, no cussing. Cause Mama Jones still watching, no frontin'. Yeah, late nights with Santana. You already know. Late nights with Santana. Late nights, no static. Yeah, Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot, but we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot, but we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Weekly topics, hearts wide open. No judgment, just motion. Real ones are talking, no cussing. Cause Mama Jones still watching, no frontin'. Yeah, late nights with Santana. You already know. Late nights with Santana. Late nights with Santana. You already know. Late nights with Santana. Late nights. Late nights with Santana. You already.
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys. As we get in, do all the things. Tap the screen, share the live. This is Late Nights with Santana, and we are gonna go ahead and get started. If you don't mind, please send your daily heart. I mean, it's only one coin. It will help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. And also, guys, please. I'm going to keep resetting this daily gift goal to these little 1 cent gift goals. And if we could knock those out a couple of times, that'll help push us out to the FYP. I'm going to bring in 2 special people really quick before we really open up the panel and get into it. So I got to grab this person, of course, because this person is my co-host. But I also have to grab this annoying person, my little brother, Isaiah. Where'd he go? I could have sworn I hit. There we go. Could have sworn I hit. There we go. Get him in here. I think it worked. What happened? Oh.
Bro, when did you get a theme song?
Listen, I have 3 different theme songs.
What?
That's why you have to get here for the start of the live. This is Late Nights, right? This is the panel discussion. So there's this one, and then Sparring, which is the debates. There's a song for that. And then I do like Brunch with My Creator on Sundays. There's one for that too. So,
hey, Santana, who was your very first Brunch with the Creators?
That would be Brett. I actually, no, that's Diva. Diva was the very first. You were second. Diava Talks.
You know what? You really just got me sitting here. I gotta step up my production.
Listen, it's a whole thing.
Because I see this is the standard.
You know, when I have the panel discussion, you know, we try to make sure that we have topics and we get into a lot of different things. But you know, it's all about the aesthetics. You know, got the soundboard, got the lights, got everything. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But I tell you what, this week has been good. So for those that don't know, and first and foremost, if you're interested in joining the panel, get in the box, go ahead and request up. Late Nights is not a debate. It is a conversation, and everyone is welcome on each side of the aisle, no matter where you vote, where you stand, how you feel. If you want your voice heard, this is the opportunity to do so. Isaiah, myself and Brett all week have been going through gun reform. That's been the topic of the conversation. We've been talking about, you know, the Constitution, the Second Amendment, why gun reform is needed, why is it necessary in the day and age, and what does it look like, right? And how do we get to a point where we can agree on legislation for reform? And so we've been having some really good conversations, and we've had people on both sides that say, yes, we need reform, and no, we don't need reform. And we've really been fleshing out what it looks like and how we can actually get that done.
Mm-hmm. And what have they come up with?
Well, there's been a couple of different things, right? The one thing, most interesting thing that I've learned is that one, people don't really understand what you mean when you say, you know, you want gun reform. People automatically jump to thinking that that you want to just take all their guns away. But even more so, when we talk about, you know, weapons, I got to remember TikTok friendly language, weapons. It's the terminology. Like people are scared of the certain ways that you say it, but then when you explain it in a different way, they're more receptive to it.
Absolutely. I mean, Isaiah, we've spoken about this before, you and I, when it comes to like the marketing side of it and everything, and the way, like with the AWB, for instance, you know, people hear the word ban and then it's just like, oh no, they're trying to take everything. That's kind of what me and Santana were just saying right there.
Yeah.
It's been. Yeah, no, I mean,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, No, I mean, I certainly agree. I think that the NRA has pumped in billions of dollars over the years to
Mm-hmm.
brand any type of reform as a slippery slope argument.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's absurd. I mean, people saw when Bill Clinton signed the ARB or
Mm-hmm.
the ARB back in, 30
Like,
years ago, that there was no seizure of firearms. It
Right.
just effectively said that you cannot go out and purchase this particular thing. And we saw that mass unalivings went down. So, um, look, like I said, I think it's a result of NRA propaganda, and it's why we got to get big money out of politics. So,
That's been the consensus though, and I will say that a lot of people have been receptive to that idea as far as like getting money out of politics, and even we had someone, his name's Chewy, who's been pretty active, and he's a member of the NRA, and he was giving us like a look inside of the NRA and basically how they're not who they used to be, and just the misappropriation of funds that they've been involved in. And so he was just saying something I didn't even think about, but he was saying how basically we need to keep our eyes on other advocacy groups that are trying to step up and take the place of the NRA. So that's
oh
interesting as
yeah,
well.
oh yeah. I mean, and they're all coming up. I mean,
yeah,
effectively.
Gun Owners of America.
Mm.
The
They tweeted at me the other day.
They
Really?
follow me too. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, they tweeted at me. They said that I was going to take away their rights in
Mm,
Congress. They wrote two, I think, hit pieces about me. I thought it was pretty
mm,
funny.
mm.
That just means that they're scared. That they're
Good.
scared that you're going to take this,
Well,
and they
you
should
know,
be.
well, like I said, we'll have a lot to talk about whenever I get up there.
I know that's right. All right, so guys, keep tapping the screen. Isaiah, I don't know what you have planned. Did you want to stay and join the conversation, or what do you got going on?
I gotta hop off, but it's good to be up here, bro. Good to see y'all, of course.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? I think, well, heck, I'll go ahead and spill the tea. I think I'm gonna have brunch with my creator this weekend. I'm not gonna say who with who, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have it. I'll shoot you a text because you got to hear the brunch with my creator song. It's way better than any of the other ones. Like it is legit.
I don't know. That last one was pretty good, bro.
And
That was pretty solid.
this is number two. This one was number two. I'm telling you. Like, but the brunch with my creator is a masterpiece. So,
All right, y'all. Well, it's good to see y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.
all right, bro. Have a good
Much
one.
love, brother.
No worries.
All right, guys, that was an interesting detour, but we're going to go ahead and get it started. Like I said, this is Late Nights with Santana. That means that we are open for conversation, any and everyone. I know the panel is starting to light up. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and start to bring people in on the panel. When I bring you in, please, please, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. And then we're going to go around the horn and get a quick introduction going. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna start bringing people in. And Brett, I apologize. How are you?
I'm doing. I got my boy had a football game today, so like we're
What
still
did he
pumped.
win?
The team didn't win, but he a lineman and he can't be stopped. He broke through the line on
Mm.
every single play. He's a defensive lineman. Just, I mean, murking people, dude.
Okay. All right. All right. So we have a couple of different people in here. Let's go ahead and get it started. We're gonna go around the horn, see if we can do a couple of quick introductions. I'm gonna start with D. D. Hey, how are you?
You.
Oh, Corey, I'm gonna mute everybody because you guys got some wicked background noise. We're gonna mute everyone. Holy smokes, guys, you should be muted. Everyone should be muted if you there we go. Whew. Whew. That was a lot. That was a lot, chat. That was a lot. D. D, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. D. Um, First and foremost, where do you stand on the argument? Are you someone that thinks that we do need two-way reform? We do not need two-way reform. And are you a card-toting member of two-way?
I am not. I believe you guys need reform. I'm actually Canadian, but I did ask you on night one of this if I could join
Oh,
the
yeah.
conversation.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Well, are you a weapon owner? I couldn't remember what you
My
said.
family is. My
Okay,
family is.
but you're not.
I'm from a big hunting family.
Mm-hmm.
So all like my parents have had like 17 weapons at one point in their home.
Mm.
So, and I grew up with them and know all like the laws and safety regulations that Canada imposes,
Mm-hmm.
and had a couple thoughts on like
Okay. Okay.
how you guys could benefit from certain safety measures and laws and stuff that we have in place here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Perfect. Give me 1 second here. Dr. Keith Eats. Dr. Keith Eats. How are you? Gonna send you a request to come off mute. Dr. Keith Eats. How are you? Oh, there we go. I'll send the request one more time to come off mute. All right, Dr. Keith East. Dr. Keith Eats going once. Dr. Keith Eats going twice. All right, I'm going to drop you down. You can request back up. Tori, how are you? It's just me. Brett, can you hear me? Can I hear you?
I can hear you, brother.
Okay. D, you can still hear me too, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Tori, are you there?
Can you hear me? I'm so sorry. I did not mean to come up.
Oh, okay. No worries. Thank you so much, friend. I'll drop you down. All right. Chris, how are you? Send your request to come off mute. Chris, are you there? Chris going once. Chris going twice. And Chris is gone. You don't know Joel. You don't know Joel. How are you? Or Joe. Yeah, Joel. You don't know Joel. How are you? And send you a request to come off mute.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? Joel, where do you fall on the conversation? Are you someone that thinks that we need reform? We do not need reform? And are you a card-toting member of 2A?
Yes, it's definitely time for reform, and no, I don't believe in owning pew-pews.
All right, perfect. I'm gonna put you back on mute for a minute because your background noise is kind of wicked. I appreciate it. Corey, how are you? Corey, I know you didn't accidentally come up. I'm gonna send you a request. I'm gonna be so pissed if you accidentally came up. I'm definitely gonna shame you. Corey. Ain't no fucking way, Corey. Ain't no fucking way. Oh, I'm dropping you for real. Holy smokes, guys, did anybody mean to come up? What in the world happened? All right, guys, we're gonna get more people in here because there's more people in the box. If you're in the box, before I bring people in, look at the screen. If you see the little pink and blue person, you're good. You're not in the box. But if you see the gray person, that means you are in the box. You are in the request. If you actually see the gray person, that means you're in the request. And if you're in the request, that means you're trying to get up on the panel and join the conversation. All right? So take 2 seconds to take a look. And when I start bringing people in, we need to make sure that we know what's happening.
It's a Wednesday, isn't it, Santana?
It's a fucking Wednesday. Guys, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Also, send your daily heart me if you have not done so. It's only one coin. It'll help boost the live, push us out to the FYP. And last but not least, again, I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1-cent goals. If we can knock those out a couple of times, again, that will help push us out to the FYP as well. Also, guys, if you like to support the live, we do have a nightly donation goal of $250. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you're over on the YouTubes and you would like to support the live, you can do so with a super chat, and that will and I will read that message out as well. So I'm going to bring someone safe in for sure, because I know Chewy's here. So I want to get someone that I know is here for sure. I'm gonna bring this person in. Bring this person in. I'm gonna bring this person in. How many more spots do we have? Okay. And we're gonna bring this person in. All right. Hopefully we actually have people. Chewy, how are you this evening?
I am doing good, Santana. How about yourself?
Wonderful. Chewy, can you tell the people, where do you fall on the side of the debate? Do we need reform for 2A? Do we not need reform? And are you a card-toting member of 2A?
I am all for common sense reform, and I am very much a card-toting 2A member.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Give me a second here. Max, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. Max, where do you fall on the debate? Are you someone that thinks that we need 2A reform? We do not need 2A reform? And are you a member of the card-toting 2A club?
I think we need reform, and I don't own any pew-pews, but my parents do.
Okay. Perfect.
So I grew up around them.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Give me a second here. Madam, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you
Long
for
time
asking.
no speak. How are you been?
Yep. I've been good. I've been getting in with some pretty big creators and being on panels trying to help for, the community I'm involved in.
Oh, so you've been too good for me. That's why I haven't seen you
No.
I've
been getting summoned. Look, you're an anime nerd, so you'll get this. I've been getting summoned like the Dragon Balls, man. It's been constantly.
Not Shinron. Not Shinron. Okay.
Yeah, they make a wish. But yeah, I sit on the side of we definitely need some reform for Second Amendment to a degree in some states. And I do not believe in myself having one, even though it could protect, but I have a lot of family members that are card carrying members and do so in practice. So
absolutely. Perfect. Give me a second here. Mr. Wright, 1980, how are you?
How are you?
Wonderful.
Big fan of you, anyway.
Of me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Wait, why are we lying? Ain't nobody a fan of Santana.
I've never heard that one before. Mr. Wright, can you tell us, where do you stand on the conversation of 2A? I think you may have a delay. You got bars right now.
Oh. Can you hear me?
I can, but you have a slight delay. Let's give it a second. I'll come right back. Or you know what? You should be good now. Do you hear me?
Okay, I got it. Right. Yes, I could hear you.
All right, perfect. Can you tell the people, where do you stand on the conversation? Or do you believe in reform, no reform, and are you a weapon owner?
Yes, I'm a weapon owner, and we do need reform badly.
Okay. Perfect.
Let's put it that way.
All right, give me a second here. And last but not least, we have the Powerpuff Cats. I'm just gonna call you Puff. Is that okay? Can I call you Puff?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, Puff. Where do you fall on the side of the conversation? We need reform, we do not need reform, and are you a weapon owner?
We definitely need reform, and no, I am not an owner.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys, really quick before we get started, just a couple of quick things to remind everyone, not only for the people on the panel, but the people that may be requesting up. First and foremost, guys, this is Late Nights with Santana. That means everyone is welcome. This is not a debate. This is a conversation. This is a panel conversation. This is a respectful panel conversation, meaning we're not going to be talking over each other. We will have an opportunity to engage with each other in different ways, but talking over each other, yelling at each other, we don't do all that. Plus, as the theme song says, Mama Jones is watching, so got to keep it clean. With that being said, this is be mindful of the language that you use. And while we are talking about weapons, while we are talking about firearms, please be mindful of those language and try to use weapons or firearms instead of GUN. And also use other TikTok friendly language like Mustache Man, C19, Unalive, words like that help protect not only your TikTok, but the actual live. Last but not least, this is a safe and friendly community. What does that mean? That means we don't do any of the isms. Sexism, racism, classism. We also don't do any of the phobias, homophobia, transphobia, none of that. We don't play that on the panel nor in the chat. Speaking of the chat, please be mindful. Caps are for mods. It will draw my attention away from the panel and to the chat, and we want to make sure I am fully locked in and we're able to have these conversations. Now, with that being said, chat, I need you guys locked in and helping me out. I need you guys doing the heavy lifting. Let's make the likes move. We haven't even made it to 50,000 likes yet. You know what? F it, we ball. I'm going to start with the stretch goal, and we're going to go ahead and throw 10 minutes on the shot clock, and I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes to get up to 100,000 likes. I think we should start strong, and I think we can start strong. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that clock up 10 minutes to get up to 100,000 likes. And if we are not at 100,000 likes by the end of the 10 minutes, we're going to go to sub only. So do the things. Also, last but not least, guys, if you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTubes, what up, YouTube? What up, Twitch? If you're over on the YouTubes and you'd like to support the live, you can do so with a super chat, and I will read that out, just like the other disgusted veteran who sent a $20 super chat to say, I brought up my great nephew about 3 weeks ago. I'm 700 miles away from, so the MAGA spawn called him a black M word. I'm not going to say that. Do you have any advice of what to do with my head and heart? My instinct is to go crazy, veteran. Don't go crazy, veteran. If I can just be genuine for half a second, the one thing that I'll say is your grandson being, a black child, a black boy, and will grow into a black man one day. And I'm just going to be honest, and you're not going to like this answer, but this is a lived experience. He's going to deal with it for the rest of his life. So while I understand the need and desire and wants to protect your family, your grandson, the best advice that I can give you is, one, to continue to love on him as much as possible. Pour into him, reaffirm, let him know that he is more than enough. Let him know that you're proud of him, you love him, he's special, and continue to ensure him that the rest of the world isn't as ugly as those people are showing themselves to be at this moment. It's easy to want to fight every single battle, but you can't do that. And also, when you fight hatred with hatred, everyone loses. So it's a tough one. I know for a fact I would feel the same way, if it was my sons or whatever. Just focus on him, focus on loving him and protecting him, and put your energy there. All right. Sorry to divert for a half a second, guys. But W's in the chat for the other disgusted veteran for that $20 super chat. Also, W's in the chat for Lindsay. Lindsay sent a $10 donation to start the live off. Say, you already know, friend. Lindsay, you're fucking awesome. Thank you so much for that $10 donation towards the nightly goal, guys. That means we only have $240 left in the nightly donation goal. I know we can close that out tonight and knock that out. If 240 people send $1, we can close it out for sure. Pay links in the bio. Santana Speaks for You, best way to support the live. And guys, please, 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 please show some love to my white token friend, my brother, the Mayo Monster, Brett Cross, who has been here doing all the heavy lifting this week. Because you know me, I'm just here for the shits and giggles, or shiggles, as I like to say. And Brett has been here educating all week. His pay links are running in the poll in the bio. Yes, gift him, but show him some love. Brett, I saw your hand up. Did you have some quick thank yous?
I do real quick. W's in the chat to Addison. I got it. I'll check them. Also, W's in the chat to Gene, who sent $1 and said, "You've been a good influence on Santana this week. Usually he's chaotic and loves dad jokes far too much." I know, Gene. I've been trying. And also W's in the chat to Lindsay, who sent $10 and said, "Pocket bacon." This was an inside joke from it was a rough live yesterday. Somebody came up yelling about they make pocket bacon. It was wild. So big W's. I didn't know what it was. I asked my mom to Google it because it sounded nasty and I didn't want that on my search engine.
Oh wow. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. Brett, you already know what the deal is. You know how we're gonna get it started.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm gonna do this. Let me get it here. Brett, can you tell the people what's the Second Amendment?
Absolutely, it is a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed.
Absolutely. Now, Brett, I'm going to throw a curveball at you because I have a question that's a little bit different than anything that I've said to you all week, but I need to know. Brett.
Yes, sir.
People normally bring up the Second Amendment when they're trying to, of course, defend the fact that there shouldn't be any type of restrictions on their firearms and they should be able to do what they want or whatever the case may be. But Brett, someone said something today that was super interesting to me, which I know for a fact is, like the truth, is that the Constitution was written to be a living, breathing document, to be adjusted by the founding fathers made it so it could be adjusted. Why have we been so willing to accept not only the articles of the Constitution, but amendments to the Constitution, but people have been so advert to even broaching anything when it comes to the Second Amendment? It seems like it's the one thing that people literally, for lack of a better word, shoot down every single time and say, no, we can't touch this.
So in regards to the Second Amendment, it really didn't start becoming like that until the 70s, right? I've talked about it a little bit before when the Cincinnati revolt happened within the NRA, where the NRA individuals like now kind of took over. It used to be about training and safety solely. And when the revolt hit, and I believe it was 69, but I could be wrong, that is when that shift started to change. That is when we heard more of the good guy with the firearm rhetoric. This is when a lot of the money started getting pushed to the politicians and everything like that. And that is why at this current point we can't seem to really fight it. I mean, we not fight it, but this is why it is harder to fight. In regards to the Second Amendment overall, I think the problem is that people like tradition and are afraid of change. Whereas we know that the Constitution was written to be a living, breathing document that was changed, and I believe it was Jefferson if I'm not mistaken, that said that we should like redo it every 19 years to fit with the times. And I think that that is something that we should definitely revisit and look into, because as times change, so do people, so does morality, so does all of these things, you know. And we're living. The law of our land is based on something that was written in the 1700s, which there is not a single thing today that is the same as back then. You know, I mean, morality's changed, technology's changed, you know, our language has changed. All of these things have changed, and we're still living off of something back when you know, people had wooden teeth.
Exactly. Exactly. I think that it's weird that to the point that you just made, that we've grown and changed in so many different ways, because it's been about 250 years, and in that time we've seen development, whether it's, you know, to your point, coming from wooden teeth to veneers, right? I mean, that's a huge jump. Or we talk about, you know, the development of being on horseback, and then, you know, the Auto T, and then now moving to, you know, people riding around in Lamborghinis and Bugattis or whatever. Like
We went from owning people to seeing that people are people. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like everything has changed. Like any facet that we even can bring up, it has changed completely. I mean, music, you know, entertainment, morality, ethics, all of these things have changed, and for the betterment,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, 250 years ago, 90% of the people on this panel right now, including you, would not have been able to even vote.
No, no, they would not even let me host this live. I would, you know, be in the back of the house somewhere or whatever while Brett's hosting the live. This would be late nights with Brett Cross.
Yeah, and we don't
But
want that.
no, no one wants that. That sounds horrible. Uh, but no, seriously, like, and to that point, I think it hits at the heart of what tonight is going to be about. And tonight is going to be, how do we get that change? Because we can continue to talk about, you know, the hangups. We can continue to talk about, you know, what type of reform we're looking for, what type of benefits we could get from it. How do we reach the other people? But if we don't put some actual ideas down, some pen to paper, if we don't start to say, like, this is how we get to where we want to be, then all of this is for naught. So, with that being said, I want to read one thing off, and then D, I'm coming to you because you have a perspective that I want to lean on, and that perspective is someone not only that is not an American, but is in a country that absolutely has common sense regulation in place, and there's been an effect that you can physically see, and I want to explore that. Chat, good job. You guys knocked that 100,000 out the park before the 10 minutes was up. You guys are freaking awesome. I knew you could do it. I knew you could. Also,
Santana, I think you need to put another 10 minute, because I think we could get 175 easy, man.
I know like Kay gets mad when I do that. And she's like, oh, you're
okay.
pushing the chat too much.
I don't want to piss off anyone.
But you know what? I don't think she's here right now, so we're going to do it anyway. Brett said it, guys. So another 10 minutes, another 10 minutes. Let's get it up to 175K in the next 10 minutes, or we're going to go to sub only. Boom. All right. W's in the chat for Ashandra. Ashandra sent a $25 donation towards the nightly donation goal. Ashandra, you are freaking awesome. Thank you so much. That absolutely means the world to me. At first, she sent a party thing, which is super cool, but she followed up with the message, and the message actually warmed my heart, saying, "Admire you and your fight for all of us. Big fan. Thank you so much. I truly mean that. That means a ton to me. You're absolutely, absolutely amazing." Also, W's in the chat for I can't see it. Cut off your username. It says the senseless something, but sent a $6.19 super chat to say, "I don't use TikTok. I would like to know if there's any way to join the panel. Otherwise, also thank you and the community for being so welcoming. First and foremost, I'm glad that you're here. Secondly, yes, so we do have you see is the Twitch and YouTube the number to call in, but I had some issues with the system earlier. That's why I was a few minutes late. I had to reset OBS back up. So as of right now, it's not active, but it'll be back active next week when we're doing this. And then if you're over on YouTube or Twitch and you want to call in, you can do so. So sorry, not tonight, but you can definitely get in on that. So anyway, guys, that means we only have $215 left in the nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated. And guys, please, please, please take care of Brett Cross. He's been here all week. He's been phenomenal. He's been absolutely amazing. Make sure we're showing him some love. Yes, gift him, but also his pay links are running in the poll. Show him some love.
And also, Santana said that I wasn't able to get back on if we don't finish the nightly goal. So
that's correct. Brett will never come back.
Never. Not to a single late night.
Yeah, no. All right, D. Yep. D, I want to start with you. So,
yes, sir.
Again, you are someone that lives in Canada, someone who is looking from the outside in, and someone who sees what reform could look like and how it's been beneficial. D.
Yeah.
First and foremost, what is your lived experience as far as being in a country where gun reform has already occurred? And then 2, what are some of the forms of reform that you think would benefit us here in the U.S.?
So my whole life, I've never seen someone walking down the street with a weapon. I've never seen weapon violence ever in my entire life. Now, keep in mind, I live in Alberta, which is basically the equivalent to Texas in Canada. So it's a very, very conservative province up here. But I can't even fathom, I can't wrap my mind around the fact that you guys, like your government isn't doing anything about what's going on down there. Like after a mass casualty up here, we had reform. Australia, after a mass casualty, they had reform, and it works. Like you can see that it works. You can look at all these other countries and it's working. And the thing is people aren't seeming to understand. No one's wanting to take away your John Wayne fantasies. Like you can still have these things, but just do it safely with some regulations. Like here, so when my mom met my stepdad, who got her into hunting, she had to go through the whole process. So I, as an adult, actually got to witness what the process was like to go about owning a weapon here in Canada. So first off, you have to take a course before they will even give you what they call a PAL card here. And it's 2 days. I think it's about like $300 or something like that you have to pay for yourself. And you have to pass these tests at the end. And then after that, they do a background check on you to see if you're even able to get one. And like they went as far as calling my mom's ex-husband to make sure he felt safe with her owning one. Like it's just, I honestly find like if you have a problem with doing these little things, then maybe you shouldn't have one. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if someone has a problem with doing a background check, I feel like maybe they should be the people to not own a weapon.
Yeah, I can understand that. So question for you, and pardon my ignorance for not knowing like the enshrine rights or whatever the case may be in Canada. But do you all have a situation like we have in the US where there's some type of binding document that says like, hey, this is a right of yours as a Canadian or anything like that?
We have no constitution here.
Mm.
No,
Okay.
no, nothing like that. And like, okay, so like I do grasp the concept of your guys' constitution. I do understand it, and I do understand that this constitution gives you guys rights, and you don't want to mess with it because then that opens the floodgates to mess with other amendments. Like, I get that. But you can tweak and adjust things to make your country safer, to where kids don't have to go to school with bulletproof backpacks. You know?
Okay. Okay. So you said something interesting, and it's something that we brought up yesterday, which was the requirement of a course prior to being able to be a firearm owner. How is that received in Canada? I mean, do people push back on it? Is there a negative connotation around it? Like, what are the thoughts in general when it comes to people having to take that course?
I think it's just such a way of life here that like nobody cares. Like, I think like I honestly, I don't remember. I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to like when all that came into place, like when all of our weapon laws came into it. I know like our weapon laws got a lot stricter in 94. But honestly, I've never heard anyone talk about that ever. Like, because we also here, it's such a different thing, I think, because we don't have a weapon culture here. Like, that's just not a thing. Like, and to be completely honest, like, I think a concealed carry is absolutely astronomically ridiculous. Like, I can't even imagine like walking down the street and seeing someone with a holster. Like, to me, that's just mind-blowing.
Never come to Texas.
No, I know.
Well, okay, hold that thought, because I was getting ready to go somewhere else with this, but I want to go in a completely different direction now. Chewy, coming to you. What do you think about what Dee just said, especially because, I know your feelings around firearms. I don't think the rest of the chat may know or not, but what are your thoughts around what Dee just said? And I really want to hear your thoughts on whether or not you would be okay if there were like some type of mandatory class that you had to take prior to the first time purchase of a firearm.
I'll start at your second point first, actually.
No, do the first one first.
Okay, first point. As far as concealed carry, if you're doing concealed carry properly, no one knows you have that. It's not supposed to be visible, because if it's visible, that is considered open carry. And I'm actually a huge opponent of open carry. I think open carry is the dumbest thing on the face of the planet, especially if you want to use it in a form of quote unquote self-defense, because if there is the good guy versus bad guy with a firearm, if a bad guy is coming in to do harm and you are open carrying, guess who the first person goes down is? That guy with the open carry.
Mm-hmm.
He gets one in the back of his dome before he can even know what's going on. So open carry, dumbest thing on the planet. That's small PP power right there.
What about the premise of how strange it is that with the gun culture here, or firearm culture here in the United States, that we do? I mean, she does have a point. There's so many people that do open carry, that walk around with holsters on their hips, and it's a whole thing. I get your premise as far as why you think it's a bad thing, but what about the overall culture surrounding people who really engage in that?
So obviously, since I'm fairly involved with the firearm community, it is split. Some people are very much in the same viewpoint as me, but there's some people that they're like, it's my right, I can do what I want. And I'm like, well, it's your right, but it doesn't mean that it's smart. And I would like, for me personally, I think we should do away with open. And then, and that would lead into the second point of when you have a concealed carry license. So I'm from Minnesota, so I cannot purchase a hand unit or anything that falls under the AR style platform until I reach the age of 21 and I've either obtained a permit to purchase or a concealed carry, which requires me to go to classes. So both classes are fairly similar. The concealed carry is more in depth on the laws revolving around like concealed carry, what you can and can't do with that concealed carry, whereas the permit to purchase is more just the basic safety and background check.
Okay. Sounds good. I like the idea of having something in place. I don't know how we get that done as far as like a preliminary requirement to being able to actually be a first time firearm owner. But I do think that's something like I can get behind, like education. I think that's super important.
And I would even advocate for better education. So like I obviously, like I said, I did the concealed carry class, which they broke down lots of good information. I'm not trying to knock Minnesota's standards. But like I think there should be even more beyond that. Right now, currently I have to renew every 5 years. It used to be annual, but now it's every 5 years. But I would like to see annual training of some kind. You'd still have a 5-year renewal, but annual training. So like me personally, I have gone to several different styles of training. I've gone to tactical training. I've gone to what they call public encounter training, and that's essentially like that is the quote unquote good guy with a firearm, bad guy with a firearm, and what they do is they put you into like a high stress situation where they show you how quickly you have to react without you losing your life or someone else losing their life that could be endangered by the bad person, and then also what would happen if you're not being cognizant of what's going on around you. So there was like kind of a comical part of it. So like when you draw and fire upon a target, they had like random targets behind it. So if you didn't see that random target, if you would over penetrate and hit that back target, and they had like a little buzzer that was it was an old lady scream. So every time you heard the old lady scream, you knew you failed.
Yeah. I think
and
that's
it was crazy at how many people like that you'd hear that old woman screaming for an hour.
Yeah. I think it's a super interesting thing because I think again the idea, and we kind of wrapped up last night with people thinking that for some reason they're going to be the superhero in the story and they're going to be the person that stops the bad guy and all this other stuff. And I think that type of training as well would lend levity to certain people who have this concept in their head that like, oh, just because I have a firearm, I'm going to be the one that's going to, save the day. So thank you for that, Chewy. I appreciate that. Max, I want to come to you. Max, so it was interesting for me to hear the perspective and the dynamic, the switch between both D and Chewy while advocating for the same thing, standing on different forms of perspective. Max, I would like to know from you. I know we kind of dug into different forms of reform, different things as far as reform, and we also covered the actual training. But what other reform do you think that, and like not pie in the sky, like we want all of this done, whatever. What form of reform do you think that we could actually get people who are standing on the other side, people that are not as sensible as Chewy, Um, what do you think that we could put on the table that would be acceptable and somewhat of a win-win for both of us?
I think it has to do a lot with dismantling the culture surrounding it, and possibly also younger people getting more involved in it. As someone who literally turned 18 earlier this year, I grew up going to public school in America, and I knew so many people growing up that do really agree with me. And I think it has to do with having those people speak out, get involved, and I think it'll be hard to get any kind of reform on the table unless we get younger people involved.
So, Brett, I saw you snapping. I would love to hear your thoughts because I'm kind of a different mind. I'm kind of on the opposite side of that. But Brett, enlighten me. What do you think?
Oh well, no, exactly, and so the thing that we have to think about is if the opposition want to keep their firearms, like everything that we're talking about, that is the middle ground, right? It is. It's, you know, you have your firearms, but do background checks. Have your firearms, but safely store them. Have your firearms, but if you're a danger to yourself or to others, let's remove them. That is the middle ground. This younger generation grew up in what the active shooter training era, right? Like, I know you and I, we're much older. I didn't have active shooter training.
I had tornado drills and stuff,
fire drills, etc. You know, this newer generation, which we referred to in the GVP as the lockdown generation, they're tired of this. We are seeing 7-year-olds and 10-year-olds seeing their classmates get unalived. That we have these young children that are throwing their bodies on top of others to save them and everything. And it's going to get to the point where all of these, I had to remember that we're on late nights and not sparring. These older individuals that are in Congress that are making these laws and taking that money, they're going to eventually fade out. And this younger group of individuals, and we're already seeing it with like Maxwell Frost and Isaiah, they grew up in this time. They are going to fight to, I'm not saying Isaiah or Maxwell, but this younger generation, they're going to take them all away. So if you want to keep your firearms, meet in the middle, save lives, or else, like I said, this younger generation, they're going to come through and they just going to take them all because they have to see the tragedy. They have to walk through the same schools that is still stained with blood.
I think that kind of shifts my thoughts some. Hey, Max, coming back to you for half a second. Dang it. I lost it. Say the last part that you just said. They're gonna. Oh, wait. Okay, Max. You said you just turned 18.
Yeah.
And just checking, is there anyone else on the panel that is like 24 or younger? Okay. So Max, I'm going to pick on you for half a second. Max, how do you feel? Because I think Brett made a great point, and this kind of veers off just a tick, but there are a bunch of old people in Congress making decisions about you, your life, and your future that they'll never see. And it seems like they're not making the best decisions for you, your life, and your future. What do you think about that? And do you give any type of credence to what Brett just said as far as like if the quote unquote older generation doesn't get on board when it's the younger generation's time, then things may be a little bit more extreme?
I do see that as a possibility. I mean, I personally agree with more common sense, weapon control, but I do know a lot of people who this has personally affected, and they know people who have been victims of it. And that changes a lot on a young mind, on what you're going to believe, on what drives those beliefs. And I mean, if I could share like a personal experience of mine, the first, like, thankfully it was just a scare, but in third grade, so when I was 9 years old, it was a lockdown drill, but they didn't say the drill part, and we had a woman principal, and it was a man over the intercom. And this was in my elementary school, and so everyone was terrified. We all thought this was real. And I remember this one girl holding my hand extremely tightly, praying. I had to hide under one of those like really short tables that you sit on the ground and push crates full of books up against myself just in case. And that is unfortunately the reality that I've had to grow up in. And I know so many people that have grown up in that, to the point where I know people that have had to switch to online school because they simply couldn't handle the anxiety and stress of having to be in a public space. And I know people who can't even go like to big public places. They can't go to the movies if they're not sitting in the aisle seat.
You know, I think that something that I missed the mark on this week, Brett, and now I feel kind of crappy for that. And I think that like you just really brought it to light for me, and Max just like hit it home. Thinking about the younger generation and the fact that they're changed in multiple ways, right? I've always thought about the aspect of the pandemic and how the pandemic has shaped people, and not just the young people, but people as a whole, but young people too. And I know I've had the conversation around what, like, oh, well, they have active shooter drills, they have bulletproof backpacks, and all this other stuff. But this is the first conversation I've actually had with a young person who's had to live through this and how it's affected them. Um, hmm,
I have that conversation every day, man.
that's
Every
wild.
day.
And you know, because it's funny, like Brett, you said it right. I mean, before this even point of a conversation, you said like, "Oh, you and I are older. We never did that." And I said, "Yeah, I had tornado drills and da da da," and not thinking about anything outside of that. But now, just like the perspective of it, it's not only is it interesting, it's super heavy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brett, I- um, how do we get Max's message out, right? Because I always think about when we talk about like let's get it done, and which I know, Brett, I want to hear more about like let's get it done and how we actually get things done. But how do we get people to hear this message and to see like what's happening? Because I know we talked about something that was really gruesome the other night, and I don't want to necessarily talk about that again, especially not so early in the live. But like, how do we amplify this type of message? Because I think it's perspective that a lot of people don't have.
Well, we keep talking about it and we keep amplifying their voices, right? To your point, and we discussed this a little bit ago. Like we didn't have to live that. We don't have the same lived experience
Right.
as this younger generation. And the younger generation, you can hear it. You can hear it in their voices. Like when they're talking about it, you can hear the anxiety that comes with even thinking about
Right.
just these active drills, right?
Right.
Drills that, while there is some good to them, there's also a lot of bad. It messes with people psychologically. Like you're training kids how to prepare to be unalived in their schools. Like that's literally what it is, you know? And the thing that we have to do is we have to keep amplifying them, and we have to get behind this generation. You know, it's always the kids will save the world, right? Like that's been a saying for forever, and it's still true. And I'm calling the younger generation kids. I'm not meaning that disrespectfully or whatnot. But like, this is why we have to get behind all of them, but especially the individuals like Isaiah, you know, who is just up here, who is a younger gentleman that is running to make things right. We have to get behind Maxwell Frost, who was a part of March for Our Lives at the age of 15. You know, we have to get behind them. We keep looking at people like, oh, well, how long do they have in politics and this and that and everything? And we're not looking at the people that are actually there for a reason and not a paycheck. So we have to keep amplifying and standing behind them and spreading their words and their stories and their lived experiences. Because I can talk about their lived experience. You know, I have a similar experience, but it's not the same lived experience. So I ain't gonna speak on it. I mean, I will, but I'm going to platform and share those voices, just like I can't speak on the Black lived experience, right? But I'll bring you up to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to do that for all of these different lived experiences.
Yeah, I think that's super important, and I think that now, I wish it would have dawned on me earlier, and I feel bad that it didn't. But like, I think that's a super important thing that we can't miss, and I want to make sure that I continue to come back to that, because that's going to be super important. Madam, I want to come to you. You said something that was super interesting. You said that, you know, like, you're not someone that believes in owning firearms, even though, like, due to the community that you're a part of, it would be beneficial to you, or at least, you know, I know Brett and I have had this conversation about, is it really beneficial for people to try to protect themselves with firearms or whatever. But regardless, you would be someone that I would think like would be a prime candidate for owning a weapon because of the communities that you're a part of. Why do you feel like it's something that you don't want to have? And even more so, like, how do we ensure, like, whether it be legislation or whatever the case may be, to protect people like you and other people that's a part of marginalized communities?
Okay, so I'll start by saying this. So first of all, I have 6 children. 4 of them are teenagers, and they've actually had a situation where, you know, they were texting me at school because, you know, kids talk in school where somebody snuck a weapon in through the school and nobody knew, but they were trying to figure out who the kid was. Like, so they had to lock the school down. And I want to point out the fact that it was very detrimental that, you know, cell phones, since they want to punish kids for having cell phones in schools, that they had that, because I was able to relay what was going on. But the point I'm getting to is, so I'm kind of this person, right, who, so I get 100% why people want to have their Second Amendments and why they believe in it, because it is a constitutional amendment and, you know, it holds some weight, some importance. But I teach my children this as a message first off. Like, your words are the strongest weapon that you can have in a lot of situations. There's tons of situations, right? And using your like actual voice sometimes can stop a situation before it gets worse. Like, if you look at, for instance, like if you look at the fact that a lot of the people who generally come out and do what they do, it's because of the background that words push them to, you know, have violent backgrounds to a degree, and it motivated them. So if people were to use their words in a positive way, you know, they wouldn't have to be going around with toting those around. And I feel like it's easier to like basically like draw a weapon to try to protect yourself than use a word. It's like an easy situation, but I feel like violence creates more violence in a way. So a lot of the reasons I don't believe that having like, I get it, if you're a hunter that's one thing, but I also can say that like from perspective, I heard someone actually make a very important talking point, which is like even some of the weapons people have like in their household are specifically for taking out animals and stuff, like for their sport. Like you don't need as powerful of an arsenal as you have. And the reason I say this is like, part of it is I was listening to the first person who spoke, and they were speaking about from being another country, their view on it, and they don't have as much of the problem. And taking the perspective that like coming up in a house like where you don't traditionally have something like that around, because you know when you're a kid you like shiny things, and a lot of the time like whether they're educated on it or not, they're gonna go somewhere and learn about those things. It's gonna intrigue them. So if you do own it, the first thing you should have is your words: educate, responsibility. Try to teach them that violence should be like a last resort in any situation unless you absolutely have to. Because I mean, I'm part of 4 of the marginalized groups right now
Right.
that gets targeted every day in the state I live in. Like I literally live in a state where you go in Walmart and people are strapped with their arsenal
Wait, are
across their
you in
chest, and
Texas?
no, I'm in Mississippi, but people can
Holy
literally walk in.
smokes.
Yeah, like people can walk into a Walmart with like a weapon attached to their chest, strapped down with like the ammo showing and everything, and they're allowed to do that in a lot of these places. And I think it was Chewy who was talking about it, like the fact that you should have it hidden, not out in the open, because it's dangerous. Like, but this is why I advocate that like yes, you can have one, but in most cases, there's no practicality. Because if you look at places like other countries, like, because I was doing the research on actual like mass violences, and like for some reason, until the 90s, it wasn't even that bad. There was like 2 or 3 major occurrences here and there, and like the occasional thing. But in like the 90s, it just like blew up and got really bad. Like it started increasing and increasing and increasing, and like
Yeah, well, and and then that's when we put in the original assault rifle ban, which from what, Brett, 94 to 2004.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it was monumental for. Yeah, someone said Columbine. Yes, Columbine was a huge contributor, but it was monumental to firearm safety within the United States, and that's the wild thing about it, Adam. Like people seem to like forget that we've already had something that's kept a lot of people safe, and people are like, just it's wild how they're going away from it. Not to veer off on your story, but I want to hear like what you think, because like I feel like your perspective is so unique, right? But I don't think a lot of people share your perspective. How do we create legislation for those people that don't share your perspective? Like what olive branch do you think we should extend in order to get them to the table and maybe get something happening?
so the thing is, it's a comment someone made earlier, right? Is that a lot of it would have to do with bringing in the younger generation, because they're the ones who are experiencing all this. Like adults can talk about it, parents can talk on it all they want,
Mm.
but like I've seen videos of like people who are in these communities that suffer from that. It's like a small bit of them, but kids are speaking forward and they're getting more traction than the adults. I'm not saying like tokenize the children, but I'm saying like it's important to actually essentialize the youth, because as I think it was you that stated it, like they're the ones in the future, like 10 years, 20 years from now, when all the old heads are out, where they're going to be coming in, and a lot of what we never went through, they had to grow up in with all these crazy drills and stuff. So it'd be having to like do an outreach to, I would say, first of all, like have like, oh, I don't think a lot of communities have like meetings they could do like in their town halls and stuff, where they could start with like bringing parents to talk about their concerns, whether they're differences or not, would be the first common ground. Is you need to bring both sides to talk about it, because yes, you're going to have your disagreements, but the funny thing about that I've learned is, if you ask the right open-ended questions in communities regardless of your beliefs, you'll start getting them to find one spot where they agree on something, and then you build off of that. So like parents who are like, well, I've experienced this, like they need to hear the actual people who've been experiencing it face to face, because it's easy to talk about something on the internet. It's easy to talk about something, but when you're in a room and you have to face the people that you're talking to, it changes the whole perspective. It changes how they see it. So you start with like your community, have community meetings, try to see if you can get community outreach, people talking. And then when the community starts talking, they can go to like the next step up, like their mayors, they can get like senators, governors, things like that, and move up. That's how you would have to approach it.
Yeah, no, listen, I like that idea. I do. I think that's important, and I've never really thought. And Brett, I'm sure there's like some instance of like, like there has to be some group that does like traveling advocacy work to where they schedule town hall, like or something, right? Like, cause that makes too much sense not to be a thing.
Yeah, and almost every town has, like, even small cities have town halls for the most random stuff. And like I said, bring in the parents who and the children so they can learn. Because the thing is also, it involves the youth. Like, the younger you start them learning about these concerns and stuff, instead of trying to censor them away from it, allows them to, as they grow older, gain perspective. And even not even, it's not indoctrination, but giving them the ability to see how they feel about the issue so that they can have the voice that they deserve to have and kind of work together with their generation to build off of that. I feel like that's the most important thing.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Thank you so much for that, madam. And you know what? I love that. I love that. So I again I mentioned the classes, and I know D doubled down on that, and like I think that so far these things that we've talked about as far as how we can actually make stuff happen and how we can get there, super unique, super interesting, and like things that I haven't thought of. So this is awesome. Chewy, I see you got your hand up, and then Mr. Wright 1980. I'm coming to you afterwards. Go ahead, Chewy.
So three things that I kind of want to bring up.
Can we cut it to two?
Two, okay. So since since 1970, we've had double-digit school incidences.
Mm-hmm.
Since 2018, we've had triple digits.
Yep.
So it's been going on for longer than some people even realize.
Mm-hmm.
But Madam brought up a point that relates to like a real life story for me. So as I say, I'm usually strapped. I've been always have something on me. Back in my youth, there used to be it was the old Pomida parking lot. It's where the youth would hang out, so to speak. And there was a night we were hanging out with friends. We were all sitting in our trucks BSing, and there was a gentleman came up, and he had some issues with us because his brother had recently been arrested, and he was blaming us for it. So that particular parking lot got, depending on the night, different groups hung out there. So like we didn't know what this guy was talking about, but he came up to me, and before I could say or do anything, I was looking down the barrel of a firearm.
Mm.
If I would have tried to go for my firearm, I wouldn't be having this conversation with you right now.
Yeah.
I you know, someone that very pro firearm, it would have done me zero good. If I would have tried to reach for it, I wouldn't be here. I had to, as Madam said, I had to talk that guy down. I talked him down. I said, dude, I don't know you. I don't know your brother. Let's talk. What's going on? We don't need this to go sideways. And I was able to talk him down. He put it away. He walked to his car and left. And it was, I had before that, I definitely had the John complex, as Brett likes to call it. You know, thinking I always have one on me, or I have one near me. I'd be able to take care of anyone. And that, like, in that moment, I realized, doesn't matter how many I have, how much I've trained, you aren't prepared for those situations.
Yeah.
No one is.
Yeah, I'll say this. a part of me that I've never really shared with people. I don't like to talk about my life growing up in certain instances at all. I don't really like sharing personal information about myself too much. But the one thing that I will say is I've been in many instances where I've literally had a firearm pulled on me in my face, and it's never a situation where you're ever prepared for it, and it's never a situation, you see the movies or the TV shows, and people pull out a weapon, and they look all cool and like, oh, you're gonna do something, or they don't pull it out if you're not gonna use it. It's never like that. It's never like that. Every single time it's happened, you think this is it, and I couldn't agree more. Uh, Without being able to um, have a real conversation, or somehow get a message across quickly enough and succinctly enough, um, you're not going to make it. So I think that is, Madam hit it dead on the head, and like, we need to talk more about this. So yeah. Really quick, because I'm coming to you, Mr. 1980. I want to say, guys, massive, massive, massive W's in the chat for the senseless, and again, the senseless gamer, who sent a $5 super chat to say, tornadoes are unavoidable. Weapon violence is. Emergency measures aren't preventative measures. If we could avoid tornadoes, wouldn't people call for that? Absolutely. Like, that's an absolutely great point. Like, think about all the other things that, if we could avoid those, like, other events that cause people to lose their lives, like, then we would do it. But yeah, that's a hell of a point. W's in the chat for Angie, who sent a $10 super chat to say, love your story, Santana. Angie, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I always kind of hesitate when it comes to talking about, like, my past and things that I've gone through in my life, just because, like, one, I don't think that every story needs to be told, and also two, I don't think that every story that I could tell is a story that everyone could hear. I think it would be hard for a lot of people, and so I try not to talk about that as much, and especially because of where I've been and where I'm going and all this other stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for that, guys. We still have $215 left in the nightly donation goal. I know we can knock it out. All right, if 215 people send $1, we can close it out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTubes and you like to support the live, you can do so with a super chat, and I will read that out. Brett, do you have any thank yous?
I do. Big thank you and W's for Ashundra. I know I'm reading like Santana right now. I'm sorry.
Because I got her name right. Boom.
Who sent 25 and said, you are a blessing to myself and many. Never stop telling your story. I thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And guys, like I said, if y'all don't knock out the nightly goal, Santana ain't gonna let me back. He a hater.
I am a bit of a hater. I am.
Run it up.
It's in my veins. W's in the chat for the gifters, guys. We really appreciate you so much. All right, Mr. Wright, 1980, coming to you. I know it's been a lot, and you've been listening. I really, really appreciate you. But I need answers. I need solutions. I need your help. What do we do to actually get reform? How do we actually institute change?
Well, we got to get groups together to sign petitions, to take it to our politicians, because I'm 64 years old, right? So all my life I've been, and this is new. In school, we never had this problem. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was, but you see things that happen in schools and it's not reported enough. It's like we desensitized. You know what I mean? It happens so many times that people just, oh well, that's just part of the culture.
Yeah.
And and it's sad because I think I heard Brett. I was listening to your uh, to your live the other day, and he was talking about what happened with him, and it just broke my heart. I mean, I was like, and I think, and I'm thinking to myself, when these things happen, when where's the line at? Where do you say where's the outrage from the politicians? You know, when your children can't even go to school, you're worried. Oh, am I going to have my children back from school?
Mm-hmm.
It breaks my heart. I mean, I'm almost in tears with it because you you see all these tragedies happening, and the politicians are just sitting on their hands, you know. And all I could say is like maybe if you purchase a, well, I'm not trying to get rid of anybody's pew pews. You know, you live in certain areas, you hunt and everything, you need them. But like if you have children that in your household, and you're going to purchase a pew pew, or then I think when you register, maybe, hey, I have these many children, so when you register, they know you have children in the house, and then make sure they have your pew pews locked. Make sure my brother has some, and his is locked in a cabinet, everything. And it's talking about if you have if you're carrying out there in public, we're all humans. When something happens, you get, and sometimes you're in a moment of anger, or you're arguing with somebody. You know, it might be a split second, and you lose your mind, and you're able, and you do something to unalive somebody or to hurt somebody. You know, I don't know if anybody. I've been to that point. I got threatened before. I got threatened before, but I think it should be a national a law. It should be stricter laws. If other countries can do it, we can do it, and make it harder for people to get weapons. Make it harder for people to get weapons, and if you have a pew pew, then anybody in your home, make it aware of, you know, on your, when you register to get a weapon, and like the I think it was Run right before me said, yeah, I have these little town halls, or little community things where you talk about it, because it is a big problem. It is a big problem. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm when children are involved,
Oh, you're
because
starting to break up
we,
again.
since I was a baby, we had, oh, I'm sorry. God
No,
dang
no,
it.
no. You're good.
Are you
You're
there?
good. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I mean, my whole life has been, there's been violence, as far as like during wartime, um, and then when you go watch movies, it's glorified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you go watch a lot of movies, it's glorified. So, and then when nowadays children are getting picked on online, and then they find nowhere out, so they want to take it on somebody. You know, maybe get a mental back. You know, that's what I mean by children in the house. Maybe they're going through something, and then maybe talk about it with parents,
Yeah.
because children
I
sometimes they're in school, and other children hear them saying what they want to do, and nothing gets done about it sometimes.
Yeah, I think that definitely there's a need to bring back like those what is it called, kitchen table conversations. I think that that's something that is necessary, and I know we've been saying talk a lot, right? But I do feel like there's a lack of overall communication that has um, propelled us to where we are today, especially with the youth, right? I feel like a lot of the younger people have been promised so much and given so little, and it seems like they're more and more is being taken away from them. Whether it's their innocence, whether it's their childhood, whether it's just their right to comfort, like it's being taken away, and it's being taken away by adults. It's being taken away by people that should be there to protect them. It's being taken away by the internet, right? Think about this. Kids today, and not just when I say kids, I mean younger people. And no offense, but like I'm 38 years old, and so like teenagers. And Max, I would consider you a quote unquote kid, right, because of your age compared to mine. But like not only has your innocence been taken away, but you've been put in a position where dealing with the internet and dealing with social media and dealing with the online pressures as well. Like it's so much that has been taken from our youth, and it's sad. And the only way that we can start to regain any of that is by engaging them, engaging each other, and opening up like real lines of communication and dialogue. I think that's so important. And that's why I genuinely appreciate late nights, because we do get an opportunity to have this dialogue, and I think we need to do that more. So that's a great point. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright 1980.
Well, can I say something else too?
Sure, really,
when I was
really quick, but I want to make sure we get to Puff as well.
when I was growing up, I used to I used to fight. I used to fight a lot, and my dad told me that's the only way you settle things, with your fist. And I don't like violence, but that's the way we were taught, not to get a weapon or anything like that. So, and how many people talk to their children when they come home from work? That's what has to happen. Like, you're right. So just want to make that point.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think communication is key, and then letting them know, like, especially the old toxic ways that we grew up in is not necessarily the ways that we still need to live in today. So I couldn't agree more. Perfect. Thank you. Puff, I want to come to you really quick, and I'm gonna throw the question out here, and I want you to think about it for a second, because I'm gonna read a couple of things off, and I really need, or I'm gonna have you lock in for me, right? Puff.
Okay.
There's been a lot of conversation around conversation, for a lack of better words, and I think about what just happened, and not to go way too political, but like what just happened with Jimmy Kimmel, right? And with Jimmy Kimmel being pulled off the air and being brought right back. And it wasn't just because we all got online and complained, which we all did get online and complain and make videos or whatever, but there was real action, right? People pulled their money from Disney Plus. People actually stopped watching certain broadcasters. Like, people did actual things. So Puff, when I come to you, I need to hear from you an actual thing that we can go out and action on. Like, what can we do, for a lack of better words, I'm going to say the words that shall not be said. What boots on the ground work can we actually do? Yeah. To start to implement a change. So think about that for half a second. Guys, massive W's in the chat for Bobby. Bobby sent a $20 donation towards the nightly goal. Thank you so much, Bobby. I really appreciate you more than you can ever understand. W's in the chat for Caitlin. Caitlin sent a $2 donation saying, in high school, there was a rumor someone had a hit list of all the athletes. Cops investigated and turned out to be false, but for a week there was heavy police presence for acting suspicions. We were all faked out. It shows how even rumors can cause frenzy. You're absolutely right. I got a story for that too, but I'm not even gonna do it. W's in the chat for Brittany. Brittany sent a $5. I'm sorry, Brittany. I apologize. Thank you for the $5 donation, Brittany. I really appreciate you. You're absolutely amazing. Thank you. W's in the chat for Lori. Lori sent a dollar donation to say, last time I forgot the note that you and Brett Cross talking about this and having the hard conversation is amazing. Thank you so much. Listen, not gonna lie, I just put a poll in the chat for YouTube to check on them and see how they're doing. This is like, not even gonna hold you guys. This is a tough conversation. Like, this week has been kind of rough, and I don't know how Brett does this on a day in, day out basis, because this is a lot. I'm not even gonna hold you. This is a lot. This has been a tough week for a conversation. W's in the chat for Brenda, who sent a $12 donation saying, I'm fighting to get over C19 for the second time. Damn indoor comedy show. I hope to have a voice without coughing fit for the next subject. We need more to sign up for generalstrikesus.com. I don't know what that is, but I'll check it out. Thank you so much for that, guys. W's in the chat for all of the donations. Guys, that means we only have $184 left in the nightly donation goal. $184. I am positive we can knock that out. 184 people send $1. We can close it out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube and you'd like to send a super chat, you can support the live that way, and I will read it out. Brett, do you have any thank yous?
I do. Thank you so much. And W's in the chat to Lori, who sent $2 and said, thank you for having the hard conversations. I appreciate you so much. Also, W, thanks, Chewy, for the 69 cents. And it said, I just want you to say 69, LOL.
That's childish. W's in the chat for Anonymous, who sent a $1 donation. Said, thank you so much for this discussion. We had someone with a weapon get on campus today and bang on the locked doors. My kids cries for hours. We don't talk about all the almost, like, that's heartbreaking. Yeah. I think I want to say I think we're not thankful enough for the almost, right? That was my first initial thought, to say we're not thankful enough to say, oh man, this could have happened this way, or this could have happened that way, but it didn't happen that way. And I'm thankful that, this school didn't get attacked, or this church didn't get attacked, or this mall didn't get attacked. That was my first initial thought. And then it just pissed me off, thinking, like, why should we be thankful that we get to just live without, like, the fear of losing our life in public spaces for no reason? Like, why is that something we have to be thankful for? No, we shouldn't have almost. Like, it's so fucking infuriating. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brett.
No, I was literally just going to say, I was going to say exactly what you just did. And I don't want to, like, really double down on it or anything, but, like, yes, we need to be thankful for the almost, but there shouldn't be almosts. We can change that. We can fix that. But we as a country refuse to.
Yeah. Anonymous, thank you for the dollar donation. Hopefully you're okay. Hopefully your kids are okay, and I'm happy that you guys made it out of that situation. Genuinely. W's in the chat for Andrew, who sent a $2 donation. It said, for my fave creator. That means so much to me. Thank you so much. And also,
that one went to the wrong account, because you ain't nobody's favorite creator.
Whatever. You know how I know I am? Because I was lucky enough to land on 69. Anyway, guys, that means that there's $181 left in the nightly donation goal. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. And don't forget about Brett. Even though he sucks, let's make sure we take care of him. Puff, the hard call is for you. Now, what action can we actually institute? What can we actually do?
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I don't know, like, too much about, like, pew pews or anything in general. I'm not very familiar, other than all the tragedies that occur. But just coming from like anybody who you hear talk about it, whether they own firearms or not, for the most part, I've never heard somebody disagree that like we need changes in this country. So to me, it's like we have to come together as a community. And if that means like, maybe on the weekends you're spending your time going door to door and getting your neighbors to sign petitions that you're then taking to town halls to demand action being taken, like that's going to affect their bottom dollar at the end of the day. Like, so one thing that I had actually heard, I believe it might have actually been on your live, that I had no idea even existed, was that in some states there, you can buy ammo out of vending machines.
Yes. Joanna gave us
That
that nugget the other night.
that is just absolutely insane to me. So just like coming together and demanding that like these vending machines are not available, or my opinion, you should not be able to walk into Walmart, or I don't even know if they even still do it, and just be able to walk out with a firearm that day.
Mm-hmm.
But like we have to make, as you said, at the end of the day, money is the only thing that matters to these people. Um, we have to find a way to make it hurt their money, but without the community all coming together and demanding action, and it's gonna have to start small and local, in my opinion, and work up to the federal, because clearly the federal does not, they don't care.
Yeah. I agree, but you know what's so interesting about that is, it's always the way that we have to handle things and how we should handle things, right? Because people get too wrapped up in the thought process of the federal government and the president and all this other stuff without realizing that the local government affects us way more on an everyday basis, and we have to actually do the things to address the local government and then create upward pressure that goes up to the federal level. So that's a great call out. Okay, this is what I want to do, because everybody's been here for a while. There's a bunch of people in the box. I'm gonna swap everybody out right now except Brett. Of course, Brett's gonna stay, but Max, I want to keep you as well if you can hang out a little bit longer. I really want to hear more from you.
Yeah, about 30 minutes until
Okay.
I have to go. Okay. But then if you're still on when I get back after that, because I'll be gone for 30 minutes, I just have to take my sister to work.
Absolutely. All right, perfect. Everyone else, D, Chewy, Madam, Mr. Wright, Puff, thank you all for coming up. You guys are freaking amazing. You guys added so much, and I genuinely mean this. There's no way I could have this conversation without you all. So thank you all for coming up.
Thank you, Santa.
Thank you. Also, I guess W's in the chat for Corey. Corey's a party pooper. Corey sent $1 donation to change the number. So now we got 70 instead of 69. Whatever. She put like a face plant. Whatever. I don't know.
Hey, I'm going to request $1 from you so it can go back down.
Yeah. Guys, that means we only have $180 left in the nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. I'm going to try to get some people in here, especially people, if you have not had, there's a bunch of people that's been waiting for a while. And then there's also a bunch of people that are new. I want to try to get some new people in and first, and then we will get other people in. So let's see here. All right. Let's see. Lewis, how are you? Luis Gonzalez 617, are you there? Lewis going once. Lewis going twice. All right, I'm gonna drop you down, Lewis. You can request back up. Tracy, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Tracy, I'm not gonna. You know what? I will ask the question. What do you fall on the side of the reform debate? Do we need reform? Do we not need reform? And are you a firearm owner?
Well, I'm in the UK actually, so I'm of the opinion of why do you actually need the guns at all? Sorry, the pew pews. Why do you need firearms at all? I know it's part of your constitution, but you know what makes you feel they're necessary?
It's a good question. You know what?
I mean, I know you're brought up.
I'll let you stay. Give me a second. We'll come back around to that. Hold tight for me, okay?
Yeah.
Sky, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Very well, Sky. Are you where do you fall on the conversation? Do we need reform? Do we not need reform? And are you a card-toting 2A member?
Okay, so I'm actually brand new to this. This is my first ever time being on a panel, so I'm kind of
W's
nervous.
for
So I'm
you.
sorry if I stutter.
That's all good. You don't need to be worried or nervous, friend. Only Erica bites.
So yeah, I would say I am for change. I do not own a gun.
Pew-pew or firearm.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. A pew pew firearm. My bad. Sorry. Yeah, I don't have one now.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Stargate, how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes. Stargate, where do you fall on the conversation? Are you someone that thinks that we do need reform, do not need reform, or are you someone that owns firearms?
I believe we do need reform. I don't have a firearm, but I'm at work, and I just wanted to drop a quick question about something I hope you guys could cover.
Sure, go right ahead.
About the thing that Powerpuff was talking about is actually getting a little bit worse because there are people who can 3D print weapons now, and the blueprints are online. And I was hoping we could also talk about ways to crack down on illegal weapons as well as reformers with legal weapons as well. But that's all I wanted to say, and I'll drop off because I'm at work.
Okay. Yeah. I'll definitely try to wrap that in. That's actually a good point, a really good point. Perfect. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Jessica. Hey, Jessica.
Hey, how are you guys doing tonight?
Wonderful. Jessica, can you tell the people where do you fall on the conversation? Are you someone that believes we need reform, we do not need reform, and are you a firearm owner?
I do not own a firearm, and I do think that we definitely need reform.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. Corey. Hey, Corey.
Hello.
Did you come up here to ruin my fun in person?
No.
Okay, I just had to check before I said anything. Corey, Corey, can you tell the people where do you fall on the conversation? Do we need reform? We do not need reform. And are you a firearm owner?
We need massive reform, and I am. I have got a couple.
Okay. All right. Give me a second here. Let's see. Jasmine, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Wonderful. Jasmine, are you, where do you fall on the conversation? Are you someone that thinks that we need firearm reform? We do not need firearm reform. And are you a firearm owner?
I definitely do think we need reform. Personally, I am not a pew pew owner. My husband is though, so we do have one in the house.
Okay, okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. And last but not least, what up, E? How are you?
Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
Wonderful. Erica, can you tell the people where do you stand on the firearm debate? Do we need reform? And you got that thing on you?
We do need reform, and no, I am not a gun owner. I mean, a pew pew owner.
Firearm or weapon. Pew pew is for the
Whichever.
kids. Yeah.
I know, right? Thank you. Okay, great. Firearm. I'm not a firearm owner at all.
All right. Perfect. Guys, W's in the chat for Nicholas or Chewy. Chewy sent a dollar donation saying, since Brett didn't read my entire message, listen, fun fact about me, I'm like Ron Burgundy. I haven't even read the entire message yet, but I'm gonna read it because if you put it in front of me, I'm gonna read it. Since Brett didn't read my entire message, we need to fix the lapse in background checks. Charleston would have never happened. Can't hear you, Brett.
To be fair, I thought we were going to get to that point here in a minute. So that's why I didn't say it, because I didn't want to derail the conversation early on. So, Chewy, that's why I didn't.
Oh, okay. All right. And also, W's in the chat for Christy, who sent a $10 donation to say, I love how you stood on the CK situation. I'm just logging in. Please discuss Dallas thing. Yes, that's actually where I was going. They hate us so bad. False flags. W's in the chat for Christy. Thank you so much for that $10 donation towards the nightly donation goal. Guys, that means we only have quick math, $160 left in the nightly donation goal. Guys, we got 530 people hanging out. We can definitely knock that out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you're over on the tube and you want to send a super chat, I will read that out. Brett, any thank yous from you?
No, sir.
All right. Well, guys, take care of Brett Cross. Let's make sure that we're showing him love because, again, he's been here all week doing all the hard work, and we want to make sure we are showing him love as well. All right. So I am going to start by leaning on the two people that I know, and we're going to carry this conversation to where we need to go. And I know we've been talking about like legislation and reform and everything, but Erica, I'm going to start with you. And I do want to talk specifically about what happened in Dallas today. So I made a video about it personally, and guys, whenever you get a moment, go check the video out. It's on my page, and if you're over on the tube, it's on the YouTubes as well. But with the shooting that occurred at the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol detention facility in Dallas, and the actual shooting occurred, there was so much misinformation that came out and things that are still being updated. The last information I saw that apparently it ended up hitting or not hitting. Apparently the attacker took the life of people that were being detained. So Erica, one, I would like to get your thoughts on that, but two, talk about the mixture of, because I kind of hint on this in my video, but the mixture of gun culture or firearm culture in America, and then the fact that we have ratcheted up rhetoric towards immigrants, and how that played a role in what happened today.
That's a great question. Well, I would say that in the United States of America, people view, a lot of people, not everyone, a lot of people view their firearms as an extension of themselves. That is definitely, it's like a part of their personality, in a sense. And with it being as such, they hold them to be extremely dear to them, kind of like the firearms a member of the family almost, it seems. And when it comes to that culture here, in the United States is very hard to part. It's kind of like asking someone to, I don't know, I guess stop being quirky. Like just to kind of make it analogous to something, like it's asking someone to change when they're not ready to change. When it comes to gun culture here, I can't even say words, firearm culture here in the United States of America. So, like today, with the rhetoric that we see from politicians, it definitely is heightening the violence in which is occurring, because we do not have anyone who is at the helm or at the lead who is looking to unify. No one's listening to the governor of Utah. No one's going to listen to the mayor of Dallas. When they say that we need to come together and stop violence on both sides, they're listening to, the president. They have the vice president. They have the widest reach. And so people need to understand that words mean things and they have an impact, and that words can cause people to act. And with the culture that we have here in the United States, especially when it comes to men and anger being the only emotion that's acceptable for them to display, picking up your pew pew and going out and then, expressing that anger, boom, there you go. So it all kind of ties together. I don't know if that answers the question, but I tried.
It does. It
I
does.
tried.
And you know
Yay!
what's funny? Because I was on a panel earlier, and I said that and I said it kind of tongue in cheek, but I mean it. Like we have to address white men in America. We do. I mean, because when we see these mass shootings, it I know there certain times people like to look for nuances and well they were this, they were that. I saw someone in the chat, some nameless, faceless troll said, "Oh, it was a Democrat, Santana. The spin is crazy." I don't give a shit if it's a language. I don't give a darn if it's a Democrat. I don't care if it's a Republican.
Isn't your mom watching?
I don't think she's watching right now, but I had to catch myself. Like, this
Mm.
isn't about political parties. And this is the problem that I have when people try to make it about political parties. It's not. Everyone is being affected, and people need to see that. And so when Erica makes a point about, having someone in the White House who is ratcheting up the rhetoric, we're not saying that because he's a Republican. We're saying that because he's the president. He's supposed to be the unifier. He's supposed to be the person that brings the country together, not the person that causes divisiveness. So it doesn't matter if he had an R by his name, a D by his name, or I by his name. If he's the president and in a time of distress within the country, he wasn't unifying the country, then we would have that same type of energy for anyone. And that's the problem.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. I hope that was understood. I think it's odd that we have to clarify such statements. Like duh. But I think it's odd that we have to do that. The job of the president is to unify the nation because he is the leader of all of the United States of America, not just those that voted for him.
Yep. That's
So
it. That's
I
it.
there's that.
I do have to correct one thing that Erica did say. Men are allowed to have two emotions. It's anger and lust. Those are the only ones.
Oh yeah, I forgot about lust. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the acceptable male emotions. All right, Corey. Corey, coming to you. Corey, knowing that you are someone that's an advocate for reform, but also someone who is a firearm owner, and then thinking about situations that occur today. I know a little bit more about you than others, and I know you have, a young child that you have to think of, and then also yourself. What does events like today say to you, and does it shift your mindset at all around either quote unquote one needing reform, and then two being willing to maybe compromise on your 2A rights, knowing that like, hey, it seems like you need it?
I would hand them over in a heartbeat. I not they're hunting purposes. I just they're locked up, no access. I don't even have ammo. I don't keep it in the house on purpose. But aside from that, events like today just solidify that we need reform. And for me, I think that I get frustrated when stuff like this happens, and the first argument is always, oh, it's the Democrats, it's the Republicans, it's this, it's that. It's guns. I mean, it's pew pews. I'm so sorry. It's pew pews. It's they're the bottom line. They're the thing that is the common denominator in every single event that we've had that has caused these mass casualties. There is no other option. We can't sit here and look at the secondary. It doesn't matter what side they're on. It doesn't matter what their mental health status was. I mean, it does. Yeah, we need to address those things, but those are secondary issues that are not relevant when it comes to the problem, and that's the firearm.
Yeah, and I mean the way that people are unwilling to actually acknowledge that is a whole thing. Hmm. I I admire your statement because I feel the exact same way. If giving up my complete access to the Second Amendment would ensure that people wouldn't lose their lives anymore, I would do it in a heartbeat, without even thinking about it, without a second glance. So yeah. Okay, I want to come back to Max because I know Max doesn't have much more time left on the panel. Max, I want to give you the floor. And I don't necessarily have any specific questions for you. I don't necessarily have any direction or anything that I want from you. I just want to give you a chance to speak, right? Whether it be if you want to talk about anything that you've heard, any other thoughts that you have. As a young person, I want to hear from you. So the floor is yours, whichever way you want to take it.
There's like a few things I want to touch on. One, social media. Social media can be such an amazing tool, but the way people use it can often be bad. People use it for personal gain, for money, to spread their own agenda. And I think that also happens in media as well. A lot of the big news stations, they won't push a story out unless it benefits their side. I see that a lot. I've been pretty involved in researching firearm violence ever since I was in 7th grade, I think. So I know how little coverage certain instances will get. Only local media will report on certain things, and only either mass casualty events, or if the person was in a minority, will it often get big media attention. And that's something I've noticed. And I think that we have to understand how to use social media in a way to reach young people, especially. Young people are often fed a lot of negative things, whether it has to do with their self-image, their mental health. All these things affect people and the way the algorithm works. And I mean, I took like one marketing course a while ago, and something that I've used since I've literally turned 18 earlier this year, I couldn't do much. I use social media a lot by using trending audios and somehow making them to be meaningful, to spread a cause that I think is good. I made sure to get involved in local politics when as soon as I could. I was going out to protest. Any person I'd meet, I wasn't afraid to bring up politics, because I knew that just planting that seed in one person can spark a whole chain reaction. And I think that that's really important, is outreach, using social media in a good way, in the way it was really intended to. And Another thing I wanted to touch on is also just personal experiences when it comes to like violence in schools. I mean, in I think 8th grade, I learned how to defend myself in a classroom with scissors and with a fire extinguisher. I knew every route out of every classroom, every place I went in the school, I knew the quickest way out. Any like place I'd go, I'd know how to get out of there. And that has had a huge impact. And then I'm gonna put kind of a trigger warning on this one. I thankfully I'm doing a lot better now, and I got like I have a therapist now and everything. But at a time when I wasn't doing the best, my parents keeping their firearms locked up, never showing me at all what the key to that looks like, not giving any clues about anything about that, had saved my life, and I would not have been here today if they didn't keep their firearms locked up. People don't it's really hard, especially for adults, to see when someone's struggling. A lot of people will hide it. They don't want to talk to their parents about it. And mental health resources really aren't that accessible. And that causes people to not know how to process their emotions. And it just keeping a firearm locked up can save so many lives. And if people didn't give easy access to their kids having that, there are so many things that could have been prevented. A lot of mass unalivings happen due to either someone had their own legal firearm or they got it from their parents. And that's mostly all I had to say.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I do want to say, like, I appreciate you so much. I genuinely mean that you brought so much levity to this panel, and this isn't something that normally happens for me in like real time, but in real time you exposed a blind spot that I had, and I really appreciate you doing that. Right? I mean, I not having the focus on the youth and really kind of talking past a couple of the things that I've said. It was jarring in the moment. It's still jarring right now, and it's super eye opening. So, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you for being up here. I think Erica said that she had something that she wanted to say before you had to go.
Yep.
Hi, Max. Thank you so much for sharing your story. You mentioned something earlier in regards to anxiety. And although I could never feel what it is that you felt while in school as a young person having to do those drills, and I can't feel what it is that my son feels having to do those drills as a sixth grader in 2025, I can tell you that parents have that anxiety too. And I can just like it's so crazy this conversation is happening because just this morning, my son, I call him Bubba. Anyone who knows me knows I call him Bubba. And he was late to school today, and I was dropping him off at school. And as we were like going up to the school, he was like, "Can I?" Because he always asks to stay home. He said, "Can I stay home? I just have a feeling. Like I just have a feeling I should stay home today." Now I knew that he was just saying that because he wanted to stay home, but in the back of my mind, for a quick moment, I was having that thought like, what if I send my baby into this school and he doesn't come home? Like maybe he should stay home. You know what I mean? And it's like we live with these thoughts almost on a constant yet unconscious basis. It's always there, it lingers. And I just know that as a parent, it is my duty to ensure that not just my kid is safe, but all kids are safe. And I really want, I really want for all of us to have that sense of duty to like want to keep them all safe, not just ours. So again, that's why I can't share in your anxiety. I do have I understand, love, and I'm just hoping that we can come to a moment where we all share that sense and want to make some type of change here in this country when it comes to gun reform to ensure that no other child has to die. I'm sorry, Santana, I had to say the word.
Yeah.
That no other child has to because of gun violence. So that's all I wanted to say to you, Max. And thank you so, so very much again, love, for being up here and being a voice for the young people. You are appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, I've been involved in politics for like ever since I was like a little kid. So I think it's important because being a young person in politics, a lot of the time I heard like, oh, you're too young to know anything. And I think that it's important to break that age barrier because there
I
are
hate
certain
when
things.
people say that. Like that irritates the crap out of me.
Yeah, there's certain things that I'll never be able to understand about, like, for example, my parents grew up in the Soviet Union. There's things I'll never be able to understand about what it was like living there. And there's things that they'll never fully be able to understand about what I went through going to a public school in the US. But by having these communications, it kind of like inspires empathy.
Yep.
And that's why I love the idea of public school, because you meet so many people and you start learning empathy from a young age to understand what other people are going through. And I hope that parents one day, maybe even if I have kids, I'll be able to send them to public school with confidence that I'll be able to see them.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, Max, thank you for coming up. Thank you for spending time up here. And I sincerely mean this when I say you're always welcome back. Please
I'll
come
definitely
back.
come back. Thank you for giving me a platform. I've spoken publicly on violence, but not really on my personal experiences. So thank you for giving me a platform to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're awesome. Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good one. All right, guys. So let me do this. We're gonna bring one more person in. Let me read these off first. We're gonna bring one more person in. W's in the chat for Chris. Chris sent a $9.99 YouTube super chat to say, "Love the late night vibes." Listen, late nights is different. Late nights is different. If I know a lot of people have only seen me sparring because things have been like crazy for me lately. And I'll say this, the reason why it's easier to do, and I'm not gonna lie, it's easier to debate Trump supporters than it is to actually have a full thought out plan for like a real conversation for these panel discussions, and being able to have this controlled environment and a set time and trying to respect the time and all this other stuff. So it's easy to just say, well, I'm gonna randomly hop on and debate and da 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 da. That's the easy stuff. This is the hard stuff. And so that's why it's been a while since we've been able to get back to late nights, is because things have been a little bit crazy for me. But I am happy that we're back and we're back on schedule and we have everything in place, and we're gonna keep going. So if this is your first time seeing late nights, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. We have more of this coming. W's in the chat for Jenna, who sent a $10 super chat to say, "Love your show. I'm newly 40 and I've been on both sides of the barrel. Grew up hunting with my dad, but survived a home invasion in my apartment at 19 years old. PTFD is real AF. Outlaw rifles yesterday." I could not agree more. Cannot agree more. Cannot agree more. W's in the chat, thank you so much for those super chats. Guys, we still have $160 left in the nightly donation goal. I know for a fact, yes, I did finish the furniture. I know for a fact that we can close out the nightly donation goal if 160 people send just $1, right? Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Anything is accepted. Everything's appreciated. And guys, please, please, please take care of Brett Cross. Brett Cross has been absolutely amazing. He's been manna from heaven this weekend. I don't normally say that about him, but I it's interesting. Brett and I have had multiple conversations about like what he does, what I do, and all this other stuff. And like for me to even kind of not even walk a mile in your shoes, but to stick a toe in one of your boots, like I have no idea how in hell you do this on a consistent basis. Like this is holy smokes, this is heavy, and then never stops. As much as I'm like Trump, 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 and then it's always something stupid from Trump. Like the amount of like gun violence that we continue to have, and every time it's just like I don't see how you do it. But guys, take care of Brett.
I appreciate that, Santana, and one, it's and I'll make this quick, and then I'll do my thank yous. But I don't get to turn it off. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to firearm violence, we have these conversations and everything like that. But when it's time to get off of the live, or we're sitting down and we're watching TV or winding down and everything, anybody that hasn't experienced it gets to turn it off. I don't get that. So I've had to find a way to use it to continue pushing forward, if that makes sense. It doesn't, but it does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much, Caitlin, who sent 5 and said, sending love and also terrifying being a liberal nowadays because of the hateful rhetoric and everyone has a firearm and you don't know who. Absolutely. That's why I hate open and concealed carry, because you don't know who has what on them. Also, big thank yous to Drasana, who said, thank you for all you do. As a 4th grade teacher in Texas during Uvalde, my heart broke for you. So many tears during this. It really hit home for me. My twins were my students that year, and it terrified me. Love all you stand for. I can only imagine how terrifying that was. Yeah, as a teacher with children in the school. Also, thank you so much for the 5 from Devana, who said, thank you guys for having me up. I know I'm not down there with you guys fighting the fight, but I'm cheering y'all on from up here in the great white north. Love y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Also, W's in the chat for Devin, who sent a $1.99 super chat to say, appreciate the work you're doing, brother. I appreciate it. Seriously, I appreciate you just being here, listening and watching. You guys are amazing. And I said this over on YouTube, and I should have said it earlier over on TikTok, but guys, and maybe I'm just feeling the weight of it tonight, but this has been like a heavy conversation. And the thing that I'll always say is protect your peace. Like, I appreciate each and every one of you being here. I love you all for being a part of our community. But I would never ask you to sacrifice your peace or your mental health for views or anything like that. So, yeah, always protect your peace. All right. So this is what we're gonna do, because this is the final panel. Like, we're all locked in. This is it. This is it. This is the panel that's going down to the wire. So I kind of want to do something a little bit different. Brett, I have been doing the guiding of the conversation throughout the entire time we've been together, but I am not the Jedi. I am the Padawan, right? Brett, I want to let you drive for the rest of the live, and honestly, I want to let you take it wherever you want to take it, whoever you want to let talk, or whatever the case may be. The floor is yours. The show is yours. What do you want?
Well, first, you're a way better host than I am. I'm just a pissed off dad that knows a bunch of numbers. But I think first what we should do is, oh, no, never mind. We already did that. I think we continue on asking what actually, like, how do we get it done? You know what I'm saying, Santana? Mm-hmm. Like, I know I have my thoughts and my everything that I do and say and everything like that, but I'd love to hear everybody's. How do we get this done? We know that this is a national health crisis. I mean, literally, it's been dubbed a national health crisis. So how do we fix it? What do we do? Let me see. Who do I want to ask? Uh, Jessica, how do we do this? How do we fix this problem that we have?
Well, I honestly think for one, we definitely need like major gun reform. Not necessarily gun restriction, but I
Well,
think we need to
firearm.
have, excuse me, firearm. My apologies on that. But I do think that we need to have a longer wait time in between, and we definitely need to have background checks and maybe even evaluations in order to make sure that somebody is fit to hold a firearm, and even after they get it, doing either a semi-yearly or a yearly evaluation just to make sure they're still in the right mindset to be able to hold a firearm.
Absolutely. So how do we get that done?
I honestly don't know with the way the government is going. It just seems like everything is going against what I think the majority of people want.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not, everybody thinks that it's a mental crisis when it comes to when people have a firearm and stuff like that, or when somebody goes off with the firearm, they automatically think that, oh, well, it's a mental crisis, where they weren't in the right mindset, they weren't in the right head. And I think that that's taking a lot of the attention away from the fact that firearms are the common denominator in a lot of the situations that are happening. Yes, there could be correlations between having a mental illness or a disability or anything like that, but at the same time, those aren't the common denominator because not everybody that has a disability is going to be doing what has been happening lately.
Right, right. No, I totally agree. Excuse me. Dell, how do we get this done?
So I believe truly that it starts in the household. Um, I believe that parents need to be more involved with their kids' lives, especially not necessarily my generation with Gen Z, but the generation before us. I believe that's millennials, correct? Um, I see
Yes.
a lot of, quote unquote iPad kids, and they, spew all this nonsense talk about, like killing people, or sorry, unaliving
Unaliving.
people.
Hmm.
um and they all learn it from video games because they're on the iPads with unlimited screen time. Their parents don't communicate with them. Um and like I see some of it firsthand, especially with my sister's kids. They aren't being interacted with necessarily like we were, in our, well, at least in my younger years. Um, with getting it done, on a federal level, we have to start locally. That's, if we don't start there, nothing's ever going to get accomplished. Um, I believe, starts local, we expand to state. And I truly believe it starts, with investing in mental health. Um, that the right always says that this isn't a pew pew issue, this is a mental health issue, but then they pull the funding away from mental health. So they're just allowing this to continue and continue, and it's an endless cycle. Um, and until maybe when my generation starts getting into Congress and everything, then we can start to see some real change.
Hey Dale, how old are you?
I am 21.
Okay. Okay.
Dell said something that I've heard quite a bit, and I know where I stand, and most people do too. But Erica, How do you feel about when it's brought up that it's the video games or it's the music or the movies? Like, do you think that that has like any correlation?
Like yes and no. My dad calls it subliminal seduction. Um, but it just
Subliminal
depends.
seduction.
That's essentially what my
Subliminal.
dad calls it. He's a ridiculous person. But no, I think I'm gonna say no. And the reason why I'm going to say no, um, because it's not a straight yes or no question. Good grief, Brett, why me? It's not a straight yes or no question. It really depends. Context matters here because are the parents actively having conversations with their children about what it is that they're playing um, on this PS5? Are they having conversations or monitoring what it is that they're doing online? We know a lot of parents actually don't um, take a look at what their children are doing online. So I do actually agree with Dell that parents need to be more actively involved in what it is that their children are consuming. And that looks like using your Android or your iOS's family sharing to prevent certain websites. That looks like, you not just being on your phone while they're on their phone, like you be in their phone and you ask questions, not accusatory questions, but like, hey, what's that? Like I'll literally ask Bubba like, "What's that? What you listening to?" And then he'll just tell me what he's listening to, and I'm like, sometimes he's listening to stuff I'm okay with, sometimes he's listening to stuff that I'm not okay with, and the not okay stuff, we definitely have a talk about it. Like, hey, this is why this isn't okay, but he has to first tell me what he thinks about it. You know what I mean? So parents have to take a more role, but no, it's not straight yes and no. It depends on the parent, man. It really does. It just really
Can
depends on the
I
parents.
can I clarify something real quick?
Sure.
So I absolutely agree. Like I personally do not think that it's the video games. My sole stance is that it's how young the kids get into these video games and the parents just allow the unrestricted screen time.
Yeah,
Like
that's a
for
problem.
for example, like with what's going on with Roblox right now. I don't think it would be as big of a problem as it is right now if the parents were more involved. Like certainly it's still a problem that those kind of people are on that platform, but I don't think there would be as many victims. I guess I shouldn't say it like that. I don't think that it would have gotten to this level of an issue if parents were or had more open lines of communication with their children.
Mm. That's an interesting point. I say no, and the reason why I say no is because and I'm gonna make this super quick. Um, I grew up in the age of Eminem, and I'll never forget how Eminem reminded us that like he's not the person that calls like this, that, or the third or whatever. And I agree. And so I do believe that culpability lies at the feet of the parent. And while there can be outside influences, which there will be outside influences, I, as a parent, think it's our responsibility to what Erica was kind of saying, like, be there, be active, be involved, to say like, hey, what are you doing? How's things going? Da 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 da. And to understand more than just that. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. Like some Noah in the chat just said ban 4chain. I'm like, what is 4chain? I don't even know what that is.
It's
So
4chan. 4chan.
what's 4chan?
It's a
It's
website.
like where all the gruppers and the nationalists and the supremacists, all the gross people on the internet like to congregate.
Brett, can I borrow your account?
I
Bruh.
got one.
All right, sorry, Brett. Go ahead. And I think Jessica
Not
had her
all,
hand up.
It was messed up.
not all white people are the same, Santana. Don't be doing that to me. Yeah, Jessica, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say about the whole Roblox thing. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Dale, but at the same time, if people want to do that type of stuff, they're going to do that type of stuff regardless of the restrictions. That's why they're posing as little kids on Roblox and stuff like that, because they want to do that, not because the parents aren't necessarily involved. Not to mention, some people are extremely good at hiding their intentions until they actually have the opportunity.
I understand, but when I was in school, like we had a online safety course, and it covered everything from like sharing personal information over the internet, personal details, medical history, all of that. And where I think the disconnect is I saw somebody say it in the chat while I was muted. The like the conversation stopped, and too many people are using entertainment systems as a babysitter. I understand that people are gonna do that kind of thing, but it also doesn't help when the children are easy victims to it and they don't understand the situations that they unknowingly are putting themselves in.
Can I ask you a question in that case then?
Yes, but I want to make sure we get to the three people at the bottom, and also Corey as well. Like we gotta, make sure everyone else gets an opportunity to speak as well.
Yeah, I can
So,
wait if you want me to.
no, you
Santana,
can. We
that's
just
fine.
gotta quick Q&A. Go right ahead, but quick Q&A.
I just wanted to say, yeah, I just wanted to say that there's also a lot of people that have disabilities, like learning disabilities in particular, like ADHD or autism, or some of those other ones that might not be able to notice the signs, and if the parents have the same thing, they might not notice it as well. Speaking as somebody who does have autism, a hearing disability, a visual disability, and everything like that, I used to be really bad at noticing those signs. I've gotten better over time as I've grown older. But speaking as somebody who is on the higher spectrum of autism, I notice those signs a lot more than other people that I know of that are on the spectrum myself.
I'm confused. What's the question?
You were saying that, I mean, the safety course, yes, it teaches kids how to notice some of those things, but as somebody who has a partner who has ADHD, and as somebody who also has autism, it can be hard to notice those things if somebody is masking them extremely well.
Okay, so you're kind of asking like what would need to be done in that situation.
Oh, kind of. Like, how do you expect a parent to know those things
Okay,
when they
yeah.
also have those type of disabilities that might not be able to notice those signs easily?
So that's kind of where I think like the community aspect would come into play, and also a lot of the blame with especially the Roblox thing falls on the owners and operators of the website itself.
I completely
Um,
agree about that.
like at some point, the actual company would need to step in and like, and again, like I'm young, or I guess I'm kind of old enough to understand what it was like, when the whole saying "it takes a village to raise a child." I'm still,
You're a
I
baby.
guess old enough.
You're a baby.
Yeah, but I grew up, with a grandfather in the house, so like I kind of, it's hard to explain. Like we used to be so closely connected, and now like it seems that we're farther apart than ever. But I feel like there's support groups, there's anonymous reporting systems. I guess we kind of have to get back to that, caring about our fellow man.
Shout out Latchkey Kids.
Yep. Brett, did you want to get to Corey, Sky, and Tracy?
Yeah, absolutely. Corey, how do going back to the original? How do we get this done? How do we get these changes made?
We have to reframe it. We have to stop using the trigger words that just make the the pew pew bros mad and start screaming, "You can't take my gun." Then they can just drive through crowds, or they can just, you know, use a different kind of weapon. But you know, there's things that you have to do to be able to drive a car, and that prevents that from happening a lot of the time. If you know, you can't, the same mass, it was in the comments a little while ago, and I think that person is gone, but they kept commenting that you know, criminals are going to get them anyways. I think that that's the point, though, is that we have to reframe that, because they just are going to keep coming up with the same excuses or reasoning for why it shouldn't be a thing that happens. Sorry, I lost my train of thought somewhere, and I had it all planned out how I was going to say that. So if it didn't make sense, I'm sorry. I got a little distracted.
No, it does.
Fun fact, that's how my sentences work. Like, I never know where my sentence is going to go when I start them. Ever.
I also have this habit where I think I've explained something wrong, so I'll explain the same thing 3 different ways. It's not because I think you guys don't understand it. It's because I don't think I explained it well
I
enough.
do the over explanations as well. 100% same. And I agree, right? I talk about this all the time. You know, we have one group, one side that wants firearm reform, and one side that doesn't. And I mean, Santana's heard me talk about this all the time. The Democrats are terrible at marketing, terrible at phrasing, terrible at words. This is why, like one of the reasons, you know, Trump won, not to make it like super political, but you know, he kept it to the bumper sticker slogans, the stuff that's easy to remember, the things that is easy to say and whatnot. And you know, when it goes to like an AWB, well, as soon as we say ban, then it automatically triggers something in them to where they oppose it. So I agree 100%. Sky. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, let me read this off real quick, guys. Dub's in the chat for Christy. Christy sent a $10 donation towards the nightly donation goal, saying, my 11-year-old black son was one that was threatened at school. I had to talk to him and show him the videos. He was being bullied. He didn't see a way out. I don't own firearms as a vet. I homeschool him now. Christy, thank you for the donation. Like, man, it's I always try to come up with words. I do, because I think it's important to have words. It's always hard for me when it's like the kids. I'm sorry. I think that's all I can really say, Chris. Is I'm really sorry that you had to go through that, and hopefully your son is okay.
I would also like to add on that. Good job for being able to homeschool, because there are a lot of people that can't. And I mean, great job on seeing what had happened and doing as much as you can for your baby. That is a major thing, you know. We fight and we fight and we fight against the violence, and we fight against you know, to stop bullying and to help mental health and everything. And you have helped that so much by being able to help your child, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Christy, I see what you said in the chat. You said he's thriving now. That at least makes me happy. That puts a smile on my face. I'm really, 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 really happy to hear that. Good for you and good for him too. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brett.
Oh, no, I was.
You were hosting.
Wait. Oh, okay. I was like, what did I do wrong? I told you you're a better host than me, man. Sky, how do we get this done?
Hi. Do you mind if I actually expand on a previously discussed topic?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, one, I just want to say I have like terrible anxiety. So this is me like overcoming it from being on this panel. Normally, I'm always just like a listener. I'm very late to like trying to learn about political stuff. I turned 20 not too long ago, and I don't know. I thought it was important to start trying to educate myself now. So I feel a little late to the game, but I'm trying to catch up.
I didn't start until I was like 32, 33. So
It
it's never
feels
too
so
late.
late for my generation. There's so many intelligent people in my generation that know so much more than me. And even younger, like the 18-year-old we just had up, and I'm just like, I feel so late to the game when there's so many like super intelligent people. But it makes me proud, you know, for
It
my
just
generation.
matters that
I
you
want
showed
to be
up.
better.
You're here. That's what matters. Like you're here.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm a college student. I actually study psychology, and I kind of wanted to touch a little bit more on like the education side of things and like the school thing. So for a little bit of context, I kind of live in like a little bit of a bubble is how we describe like where I live. So I'm very fortunate for the area I live in. We see a lot less, you know, violence and crime and that, and I'm very fortunate for that. So my experience obviously isn't going to be like everybody else's. But growing up in middle school is when we started having, you know, the drills for pew pew, like if there was an active pew pew person in the school. And at the time it was very new for everybody because our schools had just started doing this because it started becoming an issue, or I guess like a more recognized issue when I was in middle school. And to try to prepare us for an event that would happen, they would not like inform us ahead of time when we were going to be having one of these drills, and we would just hear it like on the intercom. Like they would sound panicked and they want to like make you think it's real. And because it was very new, all the kids were like skeptical, never knowing if it was really real or not. And they would have like people, like they would actually get like the police officers to come to our school, and they would bang. We had like the metal lockers all outside the classrooms, and they would like bang on that and make really loud noises and like slam things together, try and make you think that there was something happening in the hallway, because they wanted to see like how the kids reacted to that and how we would be able to, I guess, respond to that type of like situation to prepare us. And you know, obviously it was a very scary thing, not knowing, like we all just assumed it was fake, but you know, we you know, there's something in the back of your mind that's like, what if it is real? What if this is something that's actually happening right now? And one thing that I've been learning from my experience is that like I try to study like child psychology and stuff, and one thing I'm realizing for the new generation, like Gen Alpha, is how desensitized they are becoming to so many issues that we have. An example of this would be my mom's boyfriend's son. He went into elementary school a couple years ago, and I found out that they started doing it like in the elementary school levels as well now. And their reactions and those kind of like even younger than when I was when they started doing this, because they've been doing these like drills ever since they start getting to school now, they're like used to this, like stuff that we used to like go home and talk to our parents to of like, oh my god, we had a drill today and we thought it was real and it was really scary. They go home and they're just like, oh yeah, you know, we just had like a pew pew drill, it wasn't a big deal. And they're still doing the same stuff that they were doing when I was in school. And I don't know, especially like with the internet access that a lot of Gen Alpha has and just going through stuff like that, I definitely worry about, you know, how desensitized their generation might grow up to become. And in some ways, I can understand why they would prepare them for like that way. Like, obviously, you don't want to be full of anxiety and stress and fear when you're in that situation. You need a clear head in case there is an active threat, and you want like kids to be level-headed and be able to think clearly and all that. But I also think it is a little bit of an issue to desensitize small children so much, and I wonder what this could lead to in the future for like their generations. So I don't know, that's my perspective on things.
No, absolutely, and I think Santana, you can attest to this. We talked about this earlier. We would just do like fire drills and tornado drills and everything like that. How much did we f around during those things?
Yeah, yeah. I remember. I mean, like they would tell us to sit in the hall and put like our books on our head, and we would play with our friends that's sitting beside us, and it was just the whole thing. Like we didn't pay attention or take that serious. I wouldn't have known what to do, like in an actual, tornado or hurricane or fire or whatever. Like I didn't pay attention, but you talk about an active shooter event, like you have to pay attention to that because that's more likely than the actual tornado. 'Cause I never was in a tornado, right? So
No, absolutely.
Really quick, can I expand on what Sky said? I promise it'll be quick.
It has to be super quick because the timer is up and we still have to hear from Tracy.
I got you. When I was in like the final 2 years of high school, they would actually have like full police squads and SWAT teams roam the halls, playing real pew pew shots over like a JBL speaker, and then like all around the halls, like they would have like decoys, and then we would have to walk out single file like it was, like the real event had just happened.
That's wild. Huh.
It's yeah. Tracy.
Tracy, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, Tracy, how do we get this done? How do we implement?
As an outsider, and remember, Tracy's in the UK, so her perspective is going to be a little bit different.
Okay, yeah. Let me tweak the thing. So, you said you were from the UK, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so what? Instead of how we can get this done, how did y'all get it done?
Well, in '96 we had the shooting at Dunblane, a primary school in Scotland. Very young children. And basically we changed the law drastically when it came to firearms. And we haven't had anything really major since. It works, and I just, we aren't allowed to carry firearms. Even our police don't carry firearms. We have a special unit of our police that have firearms, but unless they are specifically called, that's it.
And so
I just don't understand why you feel more protected having them.
Well, I have
Money.
a quick question for you.
Capitalism.
Right.
That's the answer. Literally, I'll speed run the answer for you, and Brett, right back at you. You can go, but it's all about money. The reason why other countries are able to react to this and pass these pieces of legislation to protect their citizens is because you guys don't have big corporations, the NRA or other entities dumping money into the politicians that won't pass legislations that positively benefit American citizens. So there's that. Brett, floor is yours.
That answered the question that I was about to ask.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, I knew the answer, but yeah, I was going to ask that. So maybe if I can tweak a little bit, Tracy. So yeah, I mean, you have like differing parties over there, right? Like y'all have y'all's version of the left and your version of the right, or whatever. Everybody came together after Dunblane.
Yes.
How did that happen? Like, why did that happen?
Everybody just said, not again. It can't happen again. We can't go through this again. Our children are more important. Basically.
Not in the U.S. Not in the U.S. There's nothing more important to people than the dollar. Their bottom line, their pockets, the Skrilla, the cash, dollar bill, y'all. Yeah. E, you got your hand up.
It just seems like insanity that your children are going to school terrified, and that parents are terrified they're not getting their children back. And Brett has had to go through this, and lots of other parents have had to go through this, and I just find it insane.
Yeah, I agree. Erica. You're still
That
on
took
mute.
way too
Oh,
long to come off of mute.
mhm.
That took a long time. No, this all goes back to what you all were discussing earlier when the other like the other participants were up here, and you asked, "Let's get it done," and how do we go about doing so? Someone mentioned starting locally, and I was like, or maybe I misunderstood, but like when I heard start locally, I was thinking like start with changes locally, and I don't agree with that. Like this is bigger than something that is like happening, just in our neighborhoods. This is literally like a nationwide problem, and it's honestly my belief that we need nationwide gun reform because right now what we have is we have 50 different states doing it 50 different ways,
Yep.
and the way in which the states do it impacts locally.
Yep.
We know that. And so we need to have national firearm reform so that we have a standard. Let's go back and revisit the 1994 assault weapons ban. Right? We all know that it decreased like mass shootings by I think it was like 40 something percent, by
70.
43%, 70. My gosh,
70.
today. My gosh, today. So like we need to take a look at these things, and also, and when we do locally, maybe we can look at like social emotional learning. They call it SEL. Like it's something that's still taught in schools, but on a very, very basic level. Like I think Jonesy spoke about this the other day, but when I was in school, we used to get silent time. Like we got time in the day to actually process and feel our emotions, like feel them, process them, and then be able to release them. It was like a
Thank
form
you,
of
Jessica.
cognitive behavioral therapy in elementary school.
Mhm.
And like once we got to middle school, that wasn't a thing anymore, and definitely not in high school. I think that we need to have a focus within our schools on how children deal with emotions,
Mhm.
and how they deal with emotions and giving them outlets to handle them. And also, but
Thank you
I
for
know
coming
I
up,
know it's
Dale.
hard.
Thank you for coming
We
up,
have to
Dale.
reform our whole system. It's so many moving parts, and my issue with it all, with people who are opposed to firearm reform, is that they're absolutists. They're
Thank you for coming up,
absolutists.
Sky. You did amazing. Thank you.
So we can't keep having absolutists. Like nothing's going to be a catch-all. There's so many moving pieces here. We have to start somewhere. And because people are like, well, if we do firearm reform, that means you're going to take my guns. I don't think anyone's talking about taking your guns. We're not talking about that. We just want to
Weapons.
keep another child. Weapons. Okay. I'm an adult. All
Yeah,
right.
but you don't know, dude. We've been saying
I
weapons and
know. Weapons.
firearms.
I'm trying. You know
Jeez,
I say the
Louise.
words. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
get
Are you gonna
dropped.
play the magic trick music? No, don't do that. That's not nice. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing that bad. Jeez Louise. No, I just think that we have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere. Where can we actually start with people? We need more people who don't necessarily agree with firearm or weapon reform to be a part of these conversations too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because where's the common ground? Where can we start?
Last night we had two people, and for the most part, it was really good until one guy crashed out when we mentioned like male fragility. But that was a whole thing. But
Proving the
Tracy,
point.
literally, Tracy, thank you so much for coming up and bringing that international perspective. I really appreciate you joining us this evening. Okay, I'm gonna drop you down. All right, guys, it is officially t-shirt time. But first, Debbie's in the chat for Donna. Donna sent a $20 super chat to say, "OM gosh," or yeah, "OM gosh, I love you." Dean Parker, Erica too. Tired of screaming at my TV. How do I get on your nighttime chats? I'm new to this. I'm 66 years old. I have so much to share sometimes. Please keep doing what you're doing. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. You can always join late nights, which I do on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. You can, if you have a TikTok account, you can come and hop on the panel. But if you do not, next week we'll have the call-in line back up and active. And so you can call in and join the conversation as well. So yeah, those are the ways. But thank you so much for the super chat. You're freaking awesome. Really quick, let's put a bow on this conversation. And I wanna say first and foremost, Brett, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for agreeing to co-host this with me. Thank you for the levity and the new perspective you've given me. Not only insight as far as like you and what you're doing and how this goes, but like a lot of really good information and a lot more understanding. So I just appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you, man. It was an honor when you asked. You know what I'm saying? Anything, anytime, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna cash in more favors whenever I get it.
Tokenize me all you want.
You know. The reason why I kept you three up here though is because Brett, I kind of hinted at it last night. Erica, I know I mentioned it to you and Corey. You're gonna have to deal with the backlash, so that's why that's why you're still up here. I think next week on late nights, I want the topic to be male fragility. So I want to talk about weak men next
ready
week.
For them crash outs?
Yeah, Corey, what do you think?
I think that you might need to do a couple extra days. I don't know that that's gonna get covered in 3 days.
Yeah, that's going to be the topic for the next 6 months.
How many conversations do you think we could actually have? Because I don't think they can make it through one. Like they're gonna freaking lose their minds.
Are we talking productive conversations? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Erica.
You're fine. Go ahead, Corey.
I was just wondering, are we looking at productive conversations or like what are we counting as a conversation?
That's the goal, like productive conversations. Like it's the goal, but like, weak men gonna weak men all the time.
The problem that I foresee is how are we going to get these weak men and the men that have the male fragility to actually request up to have these conversations.
And I've already been thinking about that, and I hate to tokenize someone, but I think I'm gonna have to have a woman co-host.
Oh, 100%.
Like 100%. They would lose their shit. That
was a given.
They would lose it.
Yeah, that was a given. I'm saying.
I miss seeing Erica in the first box. It should be Erica.
Well, she has her own.
Santana, when did I start hosting?
I don't know, dude. I've only been doing this for a couple of weeks. Oh, guys, apparently, hey, not just you three, but everybody. Apparently, I bought all my followers. I was told today.
Yes.
The dude came over on the panel and said, "Why would we listen to somebody who bought their followers like Santana? He's got 50,000 followers, got 26,000 likes. He bought his followers." I said,
he pays me every day.
Exactly. But I was like, first and foremost, like I wasn't even insulted that he said that I bought my followers. I was insulted that he called me cheap, because if I'm gonna buy followers, why would I only buy 50,000? You think I wouldn't buy more than 50,000 followers?
At least 200K.
I don't think you would buy any because you are cheap.
I know, but I'm saying, like, if I was, I would be smart about it. Like, what are we doing? Also, apparently he's never caught me live. Because there's a difference between like video followers and live followers. And speaking of which, live followers, go watch my video and interact so people don't accuse me of buying buying followers. You guys got to go like and do the things on the videos. Dang it. No, Gucci, there's no check coming in the mail.
I
It's
think
direct
your
deposited to
conversation
me.
next week is going to be very interesting.
I think it will be too.
Because male fragility presents itself differently in different men. And
Mm-hmm.
like it presents itself differently in white men than it does from black men. Also,
Mm-hmm.
machismo is a thing, so it presents itself differently in Hispanic men. So it's like, oh my gosh, all the conversations that you're gonna have.
If they don't crash out, that's the thing. I just feel like they're gonna crash out.
I'm gonna be in the audience for this one because it's gonna be good. I'm gonna get my popcorn ready. I'm gonna be like that damn Michael Jackson meme. You know what I'm saying? I'm just popping the popcorn from Thriller. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
Corey's the one's gonna have to deal with it. So
I can't wait for those comments.
I will say it will be pretty cool to see Erica back in this box, in this square that I'm in, because that's how I found Erica.
I almost said something.
What did you almost say? Say
I
it. Say it
almost
with your
said
chest.
I made Erica. That's the only reason
Oh
she
my
is who
God.
she is right now. I made her.
Whoa,
Whoa.
whoa!
That's that male fragility we talking
Exactly.
about.
Every single day you try to get canceled.
I'm a habitual line stepper.
A habitual line stepper. I almost said something.
You were supposed to wait for next week for the male fragility, not tonight.
I gotta get it out. How can I host it if I'm actually involved in it? I gotta get it all out now. All right.
Look what I got.
I'm a little bit jelly. I gotta order one. Have you started?
No, I just got it. It got delivered tonight. So I just opened the box and I am going to download the Audible because I listen to the Audible while I read. That's how my brain works.
Really?
And that's
I
what I'm gonna
couldn't
do.
do that.
Oh, well, not just that. That's actually like really great when you think about it, because that's double the retention. That means you will retain it a whole lot more.
It helps me to retain. It does help me to retain the information because I'm a ridiculous person.
No, I
That's
mean,
all I got.
but that's smart though, because like when we were in school, like you had to write something down 3 times. You had to read it
Yeah.
3 times over. You're
Yep.
knocking out 2 times in one. That's like really, really fucking smart.
When I start
Sorry,
reading,
Mama
my
Jones.
ears stop working.
I mean, same.
Yeah.
But, by the way, does that book have any pictures in it?
It does have pictures.
Is it pop up?
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
Is it
See
enough?
pictures?
Right, but is it enough for MAGA to actually read it?
No, it's not a picture book.
It's
No,
all
it's not a
good then.
picture book.
It's all good.
That's
then. Yeah.
Definitely not a picture book.
They won't know.
Nope.
All
That
right,
was
guys,
funny.
I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. I gotta go to bed.
Good night, everybody.
Much love, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Bye.
Not that one. Let's do it.
I'm gonna hit my piece first.
Yeah, this ain't your regular panel. Nah, we speak the truth. Late nights with Santana and Mama Jones watching. Better keep it clean. Let's go. Late nights, truth in the convo. Everybody get a seat at the table. From the block to the books, we mindful. No screaming, just dreams in the Bible. One mic, one voice, we build bridges from the heart of the hood to the world's big issues.
Lock in for the closing, chat.
Different cultures, but the real ones listen before they rebuttal. Late nights with Santana. Yeah, Mama Jones watching, so keep it growing. Ain't about flexing, this the purpose zone. Santana hold it steady.
Guys, thank you all for hanging out tonight. Like, no lie, this week was a very, very tough conversation, and I'm happy we were able to have it. I'm absolutely ecstatic that we were able to have this conversation this week. Massive shout out to Brett, because there's no way in HE double hockey stick I could have done this. And we couldn't have done this without you. Like, each and every one of you. You guys kept showing up because, man, this was a tough conversation, but I feel like it was needed. And I'm actually kind of excited for next week, because I feel like that's kind of needed as well. Right? Like, these weak men need a wake-up call. It's weird. They're weird. The weakest thing on earth is the male. I'm sorry, the most fragile thing on earth is the male ego. Anyway, love you, Brett. I appreciate you. Guys, we're going to get out of here, guys. Thank you for all the likes, the gifts, the shares, the taps. Thank you for, just being you. We are back tomorrow with sparring, and we'll be back next week on Monday with late nights. So I love you guys so much. I love you, and as always, peace.
Late nights with Santana. You already know.
YouTube, you know how we do. This is the after party, specifically for the tuners. You know that we lock in, we finish listening to the song, which I guess I talked a little bit too much. But guess what, guys? I gotta go. I'm so sleepy. I need a nap. I do. This week was really tough. Like I don't know. I always think about like the kids, and like that's the thing that always gets me. I don't know. You said report all hate speech to YouTube. Yeah, for sure. I don't know why, but yeah. It's always tough for me because of the kids. Like the kids are the hard part. But anyway, guys, we're gonna get out of here because I need to go to bed, and all of you guys go to bed too. Everybody, put those devices down and go to sleep. Okay. Okay. All right. We're gonna do that. We're all gonna go to bed. Not together. We can't go to bed together, but we can all go to bed. I don't have enough room in my bed for all of you, but I do love you guys. So there's that. Good night.